to the discipline master of the Pentat Bilingual College, here in Deford, the cleanup exercise initiated by the school administration was to raise awareness amongst the students on the importance of living in a healthy environment.
I came with my students well prepared so that we can at least put the environment clean before the National Youth Day itself. If all the schools are doing the same thing before that particular day, the environment will be clean.
The human investment, which included sweeping, cleaning the surroundings of the CRTV Adamawa premises, was done with a lot of enthusiasm by the students who think it will create a positive impact in reducing environmental-related diseases.
I'm very glad to work in CRTV because I'm contributing to humans, and I serve in front of the car of the CRTV. I watch the enter of the studio.
The activities marking the National Youth Week shall be followed by radio debates to educate the youth on nation building and the civic duty.
These youngsters based at the Musang neighborhood of Bamenda received financial assistance from the Integrated Support Program for Informal Sector Actors, PSE, in 2008. This has enabled them to set up a mushroom production, training and research center as a youth empowerment activity.
It's a mixture of sawdust, rice husk, and rice bran. So we compose them like this, then we use the seeds now to multiply, and we give us what we have there as a mushroom.
Derived products are also sold locally and beyond.
We also do mushroom processing, the redemption glycerin that is from mushroom, which are also good for skin problems. This is a mushroom juice. It's very good nutritionally. It contains minerals and proteins, an immune booster. It helps to cleanse the system.
Meanwhile, this poultry farmer at the Nkwe neighborhood of Bamenda is among the pioneer beneficiaries of PSE assistance in 2006.
As an house assistant for PSE, I kept 200 birds and then started going in for day-old chicks. Up to now that I'm keeping 500 and above. This is where I'm really earning my living. I have 3 workers.
Other youngsters are thriving in different sectors thanks to the financial and technical assistance from the government.
Genital mutilation, a once strong and cherished traditional practice in Manyu in the southwest region, is almost dying away.
But due to the sensitization that we have carried out, the prevalence rate has dropped to 1.2%. So those who are doing it are actually doing it in hiding.
In the region, everybody is agreed that every available means should be used to eradicate the practice, no matter the insignificant number of people involved.
And doing it out of ignorance. If they're educated, then they too may put the same thinking cap with all those who are against it.
And I think that is something that we need to discourage everybody because it kills a lot.
To achieve this objective, civil society organizations hold that there must be continued sensitization.
Nobody should try that on a woman, not today. Even our fathers, the men, even understand it more. Frankly, I want to say even the Manyu that we think that is a common practice is died off. And it's died off because of the mass sensitization that has been carried on by civil society, by even the ministry. I want to commend the Minister of Women's Empowerment and the Family because she's gone there severally. They've even complemented it by economically empowering the people who used this tradition as a source of income.
If not, the small number of innocent children exposed to the virus will continue to suffer.
A woman may have a general infection, which may lead to cancerous. It can cause infertility. Then it may make sex not to be enjoyable.
Reason why the world should continue to raise the flag until the practice is completely eradicated.
Coup de balai, des petites mains scolaires à l'esplanade et dans les locaux de CRTV à Damawa. La salubrité à la maison de la radio ce matin de février avait une touche juvénile.
J'ai balayé, j'ai lavé les salles de travail. Bon, j'ai fait beaucoup de choses avec mes camarades. On a ramassé les saletés. On a rendu la cour propre.
Quand je viens travailler à la CRTV, pour moi, ça me fait un grand plaisir. La propriété dans notre environnement, ça nous encourage, ça nous fait plaisir, nous tous.
L'initiative du collège Les Pentates est justifiée. La CRTV est un média de service public. Il faut lui rendre la politesse et toute l'attention portée à la jeunesse dans l'Adamawa.
C'est une entreprise publique qui est juste à côté de nous. On envoie nos enfants, nos jeunes, contribuer activement à leur fête.
L'investissement humain à la maison de la radio CRTV Adamawa va s'étendre à d'autres activités de réflexion, des débats radiodiffusés en l'occurrence sur les ondes de la 102.5 FM.
L'atelier de sensibilisation et de renforcement des capacités des professeurs d'éducation civique et de l'intégration nationale.
Il s'agit pour nous ici de redynamiser les structures que sont les clubs d'éducation civique et d'intégration nationale, qui sont des structures logées dans les établissements scolaires que nos jeunes appelés, que nous avons formés pendant les vacances, utilisent pour relayer la formation qu'ils ont reçue auprès de leurs pairs dans les établissements scolaires.
Placé sous le thème « Intensification de la campagne d'éducation civique et d'intégration nationale, le civisme, tu ne diras jamais assez, est le fondement de toutes les sociétés ». Il est venu en appui également aux élèves de nos différents lycées et collèges de la ville de Bertois. Des thèmes débattus en atelier sur des sujets tels que les atouts des clubs dans les établissements scolaires, le réarmement moral, le volontariat et les emblèmes et symboles nationaux. Des échanges qui ont apporté une valeur ajoutée aux différents participants, parmi lesquels le délégué régional de la jeunesse et de l'éducation civique pour la région de l'Est, Mahama Abama, et les différents membres de la chaîne éducative régionale pour l'Est.
Le musée maritime de Douala dévoile son contenu à la jeunesse scolaire. Ils sont plus de 200 élèves du primaire pour cette première journée de visite. Sous leurs yeux, la splendeur des objets marins expliqués ou illustrés par des archives. Dans les allées de l'institution, c'est de l'euphorie et l'enthousiasme. Premier arrêt, la case des tempêtes. On n'est pas très loin d'une salle de cinéma. Après le visionnage, les impressions fusent.
J'ai trouvé ça bien et amusant. Je n'ai pas eu peur.
La case des tempêtes était effrayante. Il y avait les calamars et un poisson qui nous poursuivait.
Une causerie éducative pour une meilleure connaissance de l'histoire et la symbolique de la fête de la jeunesse.
Qu'est-ce qu'on fait dans un musée? On va dans un musée pourquoi?
Pour voir ce que nos ancêtres traversent.
La visite guidée du cœur du musée maritime vaut mieux qu'un simple cours d'histoire. Cette activité s'inscrit dans le cadre des préludes à la fête de la jeunesse.
Le musée apporte tout à l'épanouissement d'un jeune. D'abord, il faudrait que le jeune soit ancré dans son environnement culturel. Il faut que le jeune soit ancré dans son environnement historique.
Organisé depuis 2013, les portes ouvertes du musée maritime visent à contribuer à une bonne culture générale du fer de lance de la nation.
La mutilation génitale, cette pratique traditionnelle qui tend à disparaître de nos jours.
C'est une pratique culturelle qui n'est pas bonne. Ça dérange les femmes, ça dérange les filles.
Pour les populations du Sud-Ouest, tous les moyens devraient être mis sur pied pour stopper cette pratique.
Il faut sensibiliser beaucoup plus les gens du Nord parce que c'est là que se passent ces trucs.
Selon l'organisation de la société civile, il faut mettre plus d'accent sur la sensibilisation.
pratique de mutilation génitale de femmes est presque finie dans le département de Magno. On va continuer à sensibiliser les gens.
Même si le taux de prévalence n'est pas inquiétant dans le sud-ouest, les personnes exposées courent plusieurs dangers.
Il y a plusieurs risques. Déjà les infections, ça peut entraîner le saignement. Nous avons aussi le cancer qui pourrait se développer, qui pourra conduire à la mort.
Raison de plus donc pour prendre au sérieux ce problème de mutilation génitale afin que cette pratique soit complètement éradiquée.
Welcome back on Hello Cameroon. Now that you're briefed on what's happening in and around the country, let's take you down memory lane as we did promise today on Hello Cameroon in our retro clip page. We're going back to somebody who is said to have helped to write one of the most beautiful Bikutsi pages of the 90s. His dance style, his voice, that is kind of velvet, his theme, and also everything about him continues to make news even today, much more than 30 years after he started singing, but we're stepping right down to almost his humble beginnings. This is Nkodo Sitoni, ladies and gentlemen. Discover and rediscover him with us.
Initially, they called him Tony Frank. At the time, he was discovering the world of music in a neighboring country, Nigeria. The story goes that Nkodo Sitoni started singing in Nigeria, where he had gone to try his luck with his brother, in luck, Prince Niko Barga. He spent 3 years doing what he calls Igbo music before returning to Cameroon to embrace Bikutsi. On his return to Cameroon, his father insisted that he carry his real name, Nkodi Sitobi Francois. He started his singing career in the 80s and released his first album in 1986. Today, we take you down memory lane with one of his 90s hits, Ngwan Izum.
That was CRTV in the 90s, and you're watching CRTV in 2018. I was going to say 2017. That's how fast time goes. So we enjoin you to have faith in yourself. Grab it. Make it your day each day. If you're watching this program, then you sin this day. Make it your day. Oh, what a shame it will be if you make it your neighbor's day. You know, you live through your life through the eyes of your neighbor. Well, it's your choice, though. One of the things, though, we definitely want to make you know about is how you manage your passwords. You know, in this Android generation, you have passwords left, right, center. You have a password on your Twitter account, another one on Facebook, another one for your email or emails if you have many, another one. How do you manage your passwords? Especially if you're using public internet cafes. This is Zuo Bruno, our expert on the topic, who is telling us something you absolutely need to know about how you use your passwords when you're in a public internet spot. Just stay with us.
Hello, good morning. And once again, we'll be talking about cybersecurity and how we can protect ourselves from cyber attacks. And today we'll be talking about local password exploitations. Local password exploitations are how your passwords, sometimes even your username and banking credentials, are harvested from a local computer. This usually happens when you check your email at cyber cafes, public Wi-Fi, and all the like. This happens in such places. It can also happen if you use your friend's laptop, mobile phone, tablet to log in and change your details. And then check your details. Now, it is very, very possible for someone with very, very basic information security technique, or someone with a very basic HTML understanding, to get your password. Now, I'll be showing you some of the precautions, some of the preventive measures that browsers have already put in place, and also I'll be showing you how that can be bypassed. Then we'll talk about what we need to do as a people to protect ourselves from such attacks. So without wasting much time, we'll just head over to the laptop, and we're going to see what we can do. Now, the first thing we want to understand here is this is a real Facebook, and I've entered my username, which is of course my email, and I've entered my password. Now, I would like to show you the preventive measures that browsers have already put in place. Take, for example, if I right click here, if I copy this, I can copy this and paste it somewhere here. Okay? Sorry about that. So I'm just going to paste it here. Now you can see that I can actually paste my information, okay? What if I copy my password? What happens then? I press Ctrl+C to copy that, and then if I paste this in, you see, I can't even paste it. It keeps giving me my email. So you can't even copy the password. That's the first preventive measures that browsers have put in place to help us. But then, take a look. Most of the time when you log in and you log out, the browser recognizes that you have your username and your email entered right here. So what does a malicious hacker do? He comes here, right clicks, take inspect element, and during the inspect element phase, he knows that in inspect element this is a password. So he's going to just say, I don't want it to be a password, I want it to be text. And that is all he needs to do to bypass and see your password. So let's zoom a little bit closer, and you can see that your password is now very, very visible. And now you can copy it and paste it. That is how you lost your passwords on cyber cafes and other public places where you check. Most of the viewers will understand what this is. What do we need to do after knowing this? What do we actually need to do? The first thing you have to do is do not accept to save your password when you log in. When you log into a browser, the browser will ask you, do you want me to remember your password? Please, if you are on a public network, always say no. Always say no. Second, you want to make sure that you sign out before you leave the environment. I know sometimes because of electrical shortages and stuff like that, you might be forced to sign out without logging out of the page. So you want to make sure all possible means that you sign out of your pages before you leave. Thirdly, you want to make sure that the page did not remember you. Okay, so when you sign out, it's not enough to just sign out and go. You want to sign out and make sure that you were not remembered. And for all of this to happen, you need to keep at least 5 minutes of your time for signing out. You know, some people go to cyber cafes when they browse, and when it's like they say 1 minute left, that's when they start, you know, trying to sign out. No, you need to sign out 5 minutes, minimum of 5 minutes before your time runs out. You also want to make sure that you do not keep any tabs open. You know, some of us, we open a lot of tabs. On tab 1, we're using Facebook. Tab 2, maybe we're looking at our emails. Tab 3, maybe we're reading some news on CRTV. Tab 4, just like that. You want to make sure that all of these tabs have been closed. Because as you have seen, it's not only easy for the person to log in as you, it is very easy for the person to actually copy your password. And you believe with me that a lot of people use one password for many accounts. And that's true. You can have your password for the one you use for Facebook is the one you use for your email, is the one you use for your maybe even banking, online banking, and all of that. And this in itself becomes a problem, because just getting your one password is the hacker is now able, the malicious hacker is now able to get a lot of your accounts locked into. So please stay safe. Do not accept to store passwords on public computers. Thank you once more from Zoix, and many great greetings from our partner, the National Employment Fund, especially the Limbe branch, headed by Mr. Jose here in Limbe. So thank you, and have a great day until next time.
Thank you very much, Zoe Bruno, for the work you do. Why we not accept that you send greetings? We hope that your greetings went very far, and we are using you to say special greetings, to send special greetings this morning to any of you watching us from Limbe, from the Southwest, and while we are at it, watching us around the globe. You know, wherever you are, good morning, and thank you for joining us on the CRTV. It's Youth Week here in Cameroon, and here in the studio, we take focus on what young people are doing, and there's a lot of such activities just bubbling in and out of the country. We have Aruna Sani, who's joined us. He's a member of an association called Bakandamia. It's an association for Hausa culture. You're going to tell me a little bit more about it. Hello, Sani. How are you?
Thank you very much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Bakandamia is the Cameroon Association for the Promotion of Hausa Culture toward Excellence. It was created in 2002 with the aim of reuniting and uniting Hausa people within the framework of national solidarity and unity in Cameroon. So it was created, and the main objectives of Bakandamia are three. The first one is how to, let's say, to promote the promotion of our cultural heritage, preserving our cultural heritage. The second one is fighting against poverty within the Hausa community. And the third one is fighting against underschooling, because we have realized that in Cameroon there are some parents who are not yet ready to understand the importance of, let's say, education. We used to say an educated person is just for the benefit of the whole society. So Bakandamia, for the first time in 2002, decided to go even in the far north region, in some remote areas, in order to sensitize the parents, more especially Hausa people, on the importance of educating ourselves or educating our children, and more especially the preservation or the promotion of our culture, which is also one of our, let's say, forces in Cameroon.
We're having some pictures of the activities that you've had to carry out in the past. Can you take us through what kind of activities you do when you go towards your population, or when you meet as Hausa, let's say Hausa youths? Yeah. What do you do?
A lot of activities are carried out within the framework of Bakandamia. As I said, the promotion of our culture. We used to organize some cultural evenings in order to show to young people that, okay, we cannot live out our culture because we are in a modern society. So we used to organize some cultural evening, some conferences, seminars, and some community-based interests. For example, we trained more than 40 people in Ebolova, on how to, let's say, produce eggots and some cobbles, just in order to help them that, okay, fighting against poverty is also possible, even with a little, let's say, means we have. So in Ebolova on the 20th of last month, we trained more than 40 people, and now most of them are able now to sustain their daily need because of the training Bacademia afford. We are also, let's say, when it comes to education, there are some classes, practical classes that we are organizing in order to help students. For example, we have some classes organized at the national seat for students from University of Yaoundé too. This is Bacademia. There are also, let's say, some seminars, some quizzes, some sports that we are organizing in order to promote our culture. So a lot of activities are carried out within the framework of Bacademia.
We'll stay quite close to your activities. I want to find out from you, this is February, we're in the early part of 2018. What do you have in perspective? What are some of those things that you want to do?
I would say, as far as the perspectives are concerned, Bacademia is intending to extend its horizon of activities. So in Cameroon, we have more than 85, let's say, local committees. So Bacademia is found in all the 10 regions of Cameroon, from the south to the far north. So we are also intending to organize on the 10th of February a conference, which is a kind of debate that will gather all the Hausa in Yaoundé, more especially the young people, in order to discuss. And the themes of this conference will be Hausa youth faced with the challenges of constructing an emerging and, let's say, strong nation. So the challenges of, let's say, the time now on that is, let's say, looking at the circumstances on the ground. What can we bring for the well-being of our country? We are in a country and we are also Cameroonian. So we, as the Hausa people, what can we bring in order to develop our country at different dimensions, economically, culturally, and many, let's say, domains that we can talk about. So the conference is on the 10th, and we have some, let's say, guest speakers like Dr. Ibrahim Ismail Dettijo from the University of Chang, and many other guest speakers who will be, let's say, having a say on the topic and giving us opportunities to have a say on this topic.
Tell me about the message. What is the message? At a time like this, when we're talking about youth, we're focusing so much on young persons. Yeah. When you have a chance to talk to persons or to be on TV like this, what kind of message do you want to pass out?
Well, the message I have to, let's say, deliver is really simple. We are, let's say, Cameroonian, and more especially the young people. We are in a, let's say, in this country. So when it comes to contributing, and more especially contributing to the development or a kind of everlasting peace in this country, we, the young people, we are always, let's say, left behind. But now we have some opportunities. For example, Bacademia is now giving us a kind of opportunities in order to have a say. So what I can maybe say, or a kind of appeal, is just to ask the Hausa young men to come together and be with Bacademia, so we will have, let's say, a kind of sure future and fighting against all some endemic underschooling and many other problems within our society. We will have surely the resolution or the solution to all these problems. And maybe if you allow me, I can say...
I surely will allow you. Tell me in Hausa?
In Hausa?
Yes.
Kamar da kuka sani, ƙungiyar Bacademia ko da yaushe tana yi ne domin ci gaban al'ummar Hausawa. Kuma wannan ya bamu dama, kamar muka faɗa, ranar 10 ga watan Fabrairu a karfe 1:30 za a gudanar da babban taro a ofishi na ƙasa na Bacademia. Wannan kuma za mu samu halartar Dr. Ismail Dettijo daga Jami'ar Benin in ce can, da sauran mutane wanda zai bamu dama mu tattauna kan al'amuran Hausawa, tattalin arziki, zamantakewa da kuma talauci. Wannan kuma dama ce kamar da muke gani. Bacademia kowa ya zo, kuma wannan zai ba mu damar mu faɗa ko in ci abubuwan da ke ci mana tuwa a ƙwarya.
In summary, in 30 seconds, what did you say? So that some of us can catch up with what you just said.
Bacademia is a Cameroon association for the promotion of our culture. And we are working in all the regions in Cameroon. And we are now focusing on 3 elements: promoting our culture, fighting against poverty, and fighting against underschooling. And we are organizing a conference on the 10th of February at the national seat or the national headquarters of Bacademia, which is found behind Santa Lucia, Nguso. So we call upon all and everybody to partake.
Every Hausa and every person in solidarity with Hausas should come out, isn't it?
Be it's a Hausa man or a non-Hausa, everybody will be welcome to this.
Will there be food? That's an incentive.
Yes, we Hausa will like really eating, so there's no problem. There is drinks and many other things. Just come and discover, let's say, some surprises that we will keep for you.
Okay, Sunny, before you go, I want to ask you something. I want to show you something made in Cameroon. Do you recognize anything here? Do you see anything that you know? Sesame seeds?
No.
Okay.
Honestly speaking, no.
Okay, there is a bit of cocoa. Those are cocoa seeds.
Really?
Yes, mixed with sesame seeds and a lot of other things. I hear there's also honey in it. I'm going to give you to taste, but that's not all. I see you came with the whole fan club.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give bananas for all of you.
Wow,
I wish you people.
Really kind. I will be here tomorrow for the next program.
For Bonjour Cameroon.
Okay.
It's your right.
Thank you very much.
Have a beautiful day.
Okay, thank you very much.
And please keep up.
We're together.
We're together. Okay. Just stay with me, though. Let's go to this report. We're going to the Mungo. When you hear Mungo or the Sanaga River, what do you think of? I'm sure you see the water. Well, this morning we're going below it. We're going down deep into the water, into the sand digging business. And our guide is Abigail Foshi. Stay with us.
Hello. Good morning. You're welcome to the Mungo River. And behind me is the Mungo Bridge. And you'd want to understand today that the Mungo Bridge is that bridge that separates the littoral region from the southwest region of Cameroon. And indeed, there are a whole lot of activities that goes on beneath the bridge. And one of them is the assembling of sand for business purposes. So today we will be finding out what this business is all about, the kind of people who are involved in the business. We would be talking to one of them to find out what this business is all about. You do not want to miss out on that. Hello? You want to help me? Okay. So how are you?
I'm cool.
What's your name?
Francis.
All right, Francis, how old are you?
34.
Francis, tell me, how long have you been doing this business?
3 years.
For 3 years today?
Yeah, 3
wow.
years.
So tell us, what made you to join this business? Why did you get into this business?
Lack of money.
But tell me, I'm sure there were lots of business that you would have chosen to be involved with. Why did you choose the sand business?
I had no time to write application letters.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But anyway, all the same, you chose this business. And tell me, where does this sand come from? Because I see the canoe. It's an indication that this sand is coming from somewhere. Yeah, so tell me the process. Where does the sand come from?
Actually, there is an engine. They use that engine to transport the canoes into right far into Mungo village, or they go right up somewhere. So because the sand around here is not of good quality, and most of the sand around here has been docked already, so they have to go far so they can get good quality sand. So it takes like 4 hours to go and come back with sand. Let's say 2 people in a canoe. One goes into the water. He uses a bucket to dig the sand. He comes out. Then as he's getting out of the water, there is somebody they call a catch bucket. So he just catches the bucket and turns the sand into the
How long do you stay in water?
Let's say 10 to 30 seconds.
Any inconveniences in there?
Yeah, a lot of bottles, a lot of stones, a lot of old pots that are in the water. So some go into the water and come out with blood because they have been wounded, and so on and so forth. So there are so many obstacles.
All right. So now it takes another 4 hours for you to come out here.
4 hours. Well, it depends on how fast you are. Some people go and come back less than 4 hours, or make more than 4 hours. But 4 hours is an average.
So when you come here, because it's like a family, I see a whole lot of people. How does it work when you come back with your sand and you need to offload it?
Okay. When you that came back from the water with sand, you keep the canoe here, you pick it, that's we tie it here, then you go. You go have some rest. Then we now at the corner, that we that are by this water, we take over. There is somebody in the canoe that remove it from the canoe and put it here. Then me, that one is called the chargeur. Me, I am called the remonteur, and that one is called the classeur. So you see, he removes from he offloads. I send up, then he fixes it up, so it's easy for.
It's very easy.
It takes a lot of energy.
It takes a lot of energy.
So you have to eat a lot of food.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. That's how we do
That's
it.
quite interesting. Now let's talk about the business itself. How do you people function business-wise?
Actually, when we put the sand up there, we hope that if there is somebody that has to use sand to like build his house or do anything, he comes around, he looks for a truck and come and buy sand. When he buys sand, there are people to load. The loaders are different. It's another society.
It's a business set up on its own.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you pay to become a loader.
How much is a pile of sand sold?
You can't sell all the pile.
Okay.
It depends. There's a truck. There's a truck that has on a place that we call it in French zero, that has 10 tires or 20-ton truck. We load it. It's 33,000 during the normal season. Then when it's high rainy season, it's 35,000.
Like right now?
Yeah, no, it's not yet the time. Like next month.
Do you make a lot of money?
We make money, yeah. That's if you have the strength.
Yes.
Without the strength, you cannot.
How has this business helped you and your family?
Well, it puts a lot of food on the table.
Yeah.
It buys some dresses for us. It helps us pay transport to go to 1 or 2 places and any other thing that needs money.
What are some of those problems that you face in the course of the sand business?
People come and buy and don't pay.
People buy and don't pay?
Yeah.
How do they get away with it?
They promise to come and pay, and then they go, some don't come back. Some people sell sand and disappear with the money. So if somebody sells sand and disappear with the money, everybody that has worked is in trouble. And the obstacles in the water, like as I said, broken bottles and all those things that they throw into the water, that you can be going down to dig sand and then you go and come back wounded. And then you have to spend money to treat yourself. And then the mosquito bites when you have to walk in the night, like when they come late. So there is malaria, the dirty water we drink, typhoid, the dirty food, and so on and so forth. So there are so many obstacles.
Now, in the midst of these challenges, how do you solve it? What keeps you going? The monetary aspect.
Yeah.
Is there an administrative organ that protects you people?
Actually, all we have here is that's some sort of an administrative organ that functions in the career, that's in the query. And so we have a president, we have a committee, like a disciplinary committee.
I want you to talk to those people who are watching you right now. What advice do you have for them?
If you are in sand or you want to get into sand, you should have a reason why you should get into sand, because the money comes every day, but that's how it goes. Because it's easy, it just comes and it just goes. So if you don't have a target, something you want to achieve, no need. Because you just work all the money and chop it.
Before I leave you were going to teach me something. Don't think you're going to hold it this time around. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it is. This is how the sand business here at the Mungo River functions. I hope you did have a whole lot of fun, because me, him, and every other person here, we had a whole lot of fun. And until next time, do have a hello day. Hello.
Beautiful piece of advice there from the Sandman. He says, if you are into sand, and I could just say if you are into anything, make sure you know why you are into it, because the money comes and that's how the money goes. You should have a target. I'm basically just repeating what he said. I hope that touches you this morning. And if you're just joining us, thank you for being part of the Hello Cameroon team or family this morning. Good morning, Joyce Abigail. Thank you for that deep into the Mungo River. Now, do men gossip? Tell us about it. That's our talking point at Hello Cameroon today. Send us your messages on 66303 9233. 66303 9233. Just tell me about it. Don't even touch your neighbor to find out. You could run into trouble like that too. Well, I'm laughing because in a short while we'll be looking at deeply at how the Youth Week is unfolding and how it will end, or it's planned to end. And I have a lady with an awesome smile who's joined me. She's Mrs. Nge Reiki Mbeme. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you very much.
You are Director for Community Life and Youth Participation at the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education.
Right.
Now, official things done. Explain to me, though, how is the Youth Week unfolding according to you? How would you appraise the way it's moving so far?
Thank you very much, Poche. I would like to say that this year we have a special Youth Week activity. We have moved from a Youth Week activities to 11 days of celebration. We started on the 1st of February, and we are going to end on the 11th of February with the Youth Day March Pass. This year we had some innovations at the level of the launching, because Youth Day was not only launched at the national level, it was equally launched at the level of the diaspora, where the Minister of Youth Affairs and Civic Education presided over the launching in Washington, D.C. On invitation from youths of the diaspora. After that, the minister proceeded to the Nkam division, where he equally launched the Youth Day activities at the national level. There he had 2 days of activities. He visited youth in the prison, central prison of Yabasi.
Yes.
That is where he dialogued with them to also give them hope, to let them know that despite the fact that they are in prison, they are not forgotten. So he dialogued with them, gave them some support. And on the 5th of February, the minister was in Yingi, which is a very enclaved area. He had dialogue with youth from this area. He gave them support to youth associations and youth movements. And we equally had the 10 beneficiaries of the first batch of the special youth trainer plan. They had their support and subventions that day.
It looks like a very thick week that is unfolding. What is the 10th of February going to look like for you before we look at the 11th of February, which is Sunday?
Before the 10th of February, we have several other activities. Like I said, we have a youth village, which is the second edition that is unfolding now. So activities started in the village from the 1st of February. We have activities like business challenge, cultural challenge, educative talks, roundtable conferences, discussions. We have the youth parliament, which is also unfolding there. It has already started with a training. We have so many activities that are going on at the level of the youth village.
I've actually seen, yes, I was going to just jump in there. So I've actually seen some images brought by colleagues, and if you are in Yaoundé or maybe in different parts of the country, you should take real interest in what young people are doing. You'll be amazed.
That's right. Then I was saying that before coming to the 10th, we have the 9th of February, which is going to be celebrated as the Youth Parliament Day.
Yes.
We are on the second edition. Last year we had the first edition. And on this 9th in the evening, we are going to have a Youth Excellence Gala Night and fundraising. On the 10th proper, we are going to have young people gathered in the youth village to listen to the address that the head of state is going to give them on the 10th of February. Yeah.
And 11th of February, which is a Sunday this year, how is it going to be like?
That is the D-Day. On the 11th of February, we are going to have all young people of all fields of work who are going to march past during the celebration at the level of the Yaoundé. We are going to do it at the 20th May Boulevard. And it is not only at the level of Yaoundé that is going to be happening. It's national celebration. So all the march past is going to take place in all subdivisions, in divisions, regions, and the national level of Cameroon. Young people will come and celebrate their day on this day.
If I ask you if I had a wish, what would the wish be? If you had a wish, like something you want to see happen, or something you wish was achieved, or...
If I had a wish, I would go with the theme of the Youth Week of this year. Which is youth, multiculturalism, peace and national unity. My wish, personally, is that the young people of Cameroon should be multicultural, they should be bilingual, they should respect our national emblems, and they should live in national unity, live in harmony, and live together as one person so that we can see Cameroon emerge by 2035.
Thank you very much, Madam Gere Kiambeme, for coming on Hello Cameroon to talk to us about the Youth Week and the Youth Day. We hope that it will be a memorable day, the 11th of February this year for all of us, especially for you working so hard behind the scene. Would you care for some fruit? Should I give you some banana? Anything to help you?
Banana, thank you very much.
That would be a good way to start the day, isn't it?
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day, ma'am. No, my pleasure. I'm just going to move from Madame Rekiambeme to more food. Let's talk about food. This time, you know, dry stuff, roasted stuff. We're talking about Festival Grillade du Cameroun. And we have a young man who's joined us. Good morning.
Hello, Auntie Pochi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
I'll keep saying it until it's like December 30th. All right.
I'm sure that's the first time we're meeting.
This is probably the first time.
Yeah, for the year 2017.
So it's all right to say Happy New Year. Yeah. Tell me about this festival which is going to be happening here in Yaoundé.
Le Festival de Grillade du Cameroun is bringing on board over 180 Cameroonian varieties of grilling. When we talk of grilling, we are talking of poultry.
Okay.
We are talking of beef. We are talking of fish, the popular poisson braisé.
Yes.
Yeah, that is why the festival will be presented to Cameroonians from the 8th, that is today, to the 14th of February at the National Museum. So if you are a lover of poisson braisé,
how will you not be a lover of grilled stuff? Yeah. I mean, when the smoke comes up, people begin to gather, you know. So please gather, join, and come to the National Museum to see what we have in terms of grilling or in terms of food, if you like.
In terms of Cameroonian food. So the festival will bring in together dancing, food, and drinking. So we have a lot of artists that are going to be headlining the festival. As from today, we have upcoming artists. We have Coco Ajante, the godmother of the festival. That will be there on the 14th.
She's not really upcoming, is she?
No, I mean she's on the 14th.
She's accompanying.
Yeah, from today to the 10th of February, we are having upcoming artists.
Okay.
They are headlining the festival. As from the 11th, we have now mainstream artists like Mr. Leo, Daphne, Mike Alabi from Cote d'Ivoire. That will open the festival on the. That will be there on the 11th. That is the Youth Day. On the 12th, we have Blanche Bailey with Fast Life. And on the 12th, we are going to have another artist of the name.
Like the Cameroonian artist?
Local? Minx.
You have Minx?
Yeah, Minx on the
trouble guy. Minx is the guy who looks for trouble. So you've been looking for him. Calvino Wala, you know now where you now know where Minx will be. You know, get your stick ready. On the 14th, but it's going to be fun, definitely.
Yeah, on the 14th we have Coco Ajante and Loco.
Okay.
Yeah, at the festival.
And
it is also a perfect opportunity for Cameroonians, especially entrepreneurs, to come and showcase their startups and enterprises at the festival, expose what they are specialized in to Cameroonians, and also to job seekers to come and prospect for job at the festival.
Well, what is food if you don't have some music to push it down? And when I say music, I mean music in all the forms you can think of. Let's just put it in that form. And in terms of that music, though, you've just heard he just gave the team almost of what music is in Cameroon now. So you need to be at this event to have some good quality grilled food from Cameroon, but definitely also some good quality music going by it. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure.
And we hope that you will come back next year, this time to tell us about another edition of it coming up.
We have another edition in May.
You have another edition in May?
Yeah.
We'll definitely talk about it on Hello Cameroon. In a few moments, it will be news time, just a short break, transition. Time for this lady whose name blesses you and I and the nation. They call her Vebnui to stand just near here and give you an update of the news.
Deuxième édition de la fête de la jeunesse. Le comité national d'organisation en partenariat avec les organisations et les mouvements de jeunesse présente la 11e de la jeunesse. 11 jours de célébration et de valorisation de la jeunesse camerounaise sur l'étendue du territoire national. Au programme, activités sportives et culturelles, caravane de volontariat et de citoyenneté, l'organisation du Parlement jeunesse et de la 3e édition du village jeunesse à l'esplanade du musée national. Le gala de l'excellence, une soirée de levée de fonds en faveur des initiatives des jeunes. Et en apothéose, la grande parade du défilé du 11 février au boulevard du 20 mai à Yaoundé. La 11e de la jeunesse du 1er au 11 février 2018, un événement à ne manquer sous aucun prétexte.
You know, there's a perfect woman with a perfect home, perfect husband, beautiful children.
We commend you for this party, Grace. 22 years in marriage, God has truly blessed you.
Oh, thank you, sister. Tina, your mom? Oh my God, your mom.
She looks good, smells good, and has the perfect job.
Was that your daughter that I saw?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she is so grown.
So you finally found your way home?
Yes, I have.
I organized all this for our 22nd anniversary. And this is the time you come back?
Did we talk about having a party?
Henry, it was supposed to be a surprise for you.
We have to leave the house.
What?
You love your wife so much that you cannot leave her for anyone. So please, stop wasting my time.
Tessa, I love you. Can we go for lunch tomorrow?
Henry, whenever you do something nice, there's a catch.
What do you mean? No. I'm just trying to make peace with you. That's all.
Okay.
Right.
Hello to you all watching us from Cameroon and beyond. Welcome to our 7 a.m. edition. We're broadcasting live from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Clément Atangana, former president of the administrative bench of the Supreme Court, has been appointed as pioneer president of the Constitutional Council. He was appointed yesterday alongside 10 others by the President of the Republic through a decree. The Constitutional Council is one of the bodies enshrined in the 1996 Constitution, which is being progressively implemented. Constantine Baum has the details.
For some time now, the effective implementation of institutions provided in the 1996 Constitution has been the cry of many in Cameroon. One of those key institutions is the Constitutional Council, whose principal responsibilities are to ensure constitutionality of laws, proper functioning of state institutions, and the proclamation of presidential election results. For some time now, the Supreme Court has been performing the duties, so the appointment of the members of the Constitutional Council by the President today falls in line with the President's prerogatives to fully implement the 1996 Constitution. The newly appointed members, a combination of former government ministers, university dons, and civil society members, will accelerate the proper functioning of these institutions, which will go operational. It is part of government's policy to accelerate the decentralization process because the Constitutional Council will ensure the smooth functioning of Republican institutions. That may explain why the electorate has been convened for March 25 for the senatorial elections while waiting for other polls such as regional elections, council elections, and presidential elections in this electoral year, announced in President Biya's end-of-year speech. The duties or responsibilities of the Constitutional Council are found in Section 7, Articles 46 to 52 of January 18, 1966 Constitution.
The Minister Delegate in the Presidency in charge of public contracts, Abbas Sadu, today visits the construction site of the Yaoundé-Douala motorway as from 8 a.m. Meanwhile, the General Manager of the Sangmeli Marefra Hospital will officially take up office today in the health structure. Ashley Yu has more on our day's agenda.
The Minister of Secondary Education, Jean-Ernest Massenangale Bibehe, will preside over the ceremony to hand materials to support and reinforce technical and professional training schools located around the Nachigal Dam construction site, the water dam on the River Sanaga in the Leke Division. The said ceremony takes place today at the Government Technical High School of Obala at 10 a.m. Elsewhere, the Catholic Education Secretariat of Yaoundé Essential Meeting for Complete Training of Man is celebrating the Diocesan Day of Catholic Education under the patronage of the Archbishop of Yaoundé, His Lordship Jean Barga. This takes place today at the school premises of Notre-Dame de Volée. Meanwhile, the Scientific Commission for the Research Center on Filariasis and Other Tropical Diseases meets today to discuss principal results, activities, and other projects conducted by the Scientific Commission. The session will also present its research results to members. Moreover, a press briefing will be granted by the Secretary General of the African and Malagasy Council of Higher Education and Permanent Secretary of the Francophone Africa and Indian Ocean University Rectors Conference, Professor Bertram Bashi, today at the Germano-African Scientific Cooperation Center of the University of Yaoundé 1.
Over in the littoral region, the Senate President Marcel Njifenji has encouraged representatives of traditional authorities of the West region based in the littoral region to be vectors of peace and development. He was speaking in Douala recently during a visit in which he was received by elite and administrative officials of that region. We have details with Kilo Valerie Salai.
A mixture of paints sprayed on cars to give them finishing touches before sale. After receiving mechanical repairs and removal of damaged panels, these vehicles, most of which are imported, need to be garnished. The activity known as panel beating enables these young men make ends meet, yet it's not a bed of roses.
I paint the cars twice to make them look shiny. I can take 30 to 45 minutes and can work on 10 to 15 cars per day. It is not easy at all. The pay is good but not enough. I am a welder. I check the cars before they are painted, which can last up to a month. It's difficult. This was never my choice, but instead of stealing, I rather do this to stay off misery.
The young men who work from Mondays to Saturdays are exposed to numerous risks due to the manipulation of different chemicals. Their health is, however, guaranteed.
The youth protect their faces with mufflers to prevent illnesses. In worst cases, I take them to the clinic for medical checks to ensure they are healthy.
Customers, amazed by the services, need not look any further.
We choose this place because it's the best. The technicians are perfect in their way of working. I've never had worries.
Call them automobile geniuses or artists. These youths ensure that every car under their care is in perfect shape before sale.
That is Radha Madon Kwele reporting there on certain youths that have decided to put their time into some income-generating activities, specifically dealing with cars. We take you now to Adamawa region, and we continue celebrating youths during this Youth Week. And we are talking this time about Christian Chonke, who though did not progress well in education, has decided to pick up a profession for himself. The 29-year-old is today into painting and craft work. An artist who says the activity helps put food on his table, and equally he is able to pay his house expenses. We have details of this story with Celestin Sumbele.
Born and bred in Gaoundoury, Christian Chomke is a Cameroonian of age 29. Christian, like many other youths, had a difficult academic background, but lucky to have found a living into painting and craft work.
It started when I was in primary school. I used to draw in my exercise books, and I never knew I would become an artist. But today I'm an artist, and I'm very happy. I'm proud of myself. I earn enough to take care of myself, to take care of my family, and to sponsor the school of two of my brothers.
To his family, he's counted as a blessing as he shoulders so many family responsibilities.
Ever since he's working, I can say he has been of great help to the family, in the sense that he does so many things that I, his elder sister, even haven't done yet for the family. the young people he gives work to, that's already something for the country. Yes, and then if he continues like that and gets to something better, I want to believe that many more things can change.
Today, as a boss of his own, so many of his friends envy him and is looked upon as a model. Christian Ziki also does a lot to help youths of his age to be self-dependent, but he has so many challenges.
Many people don't know the value of art, and they don't really consider it as a job. The only thing I don't have is the material. I don't have the material and the capital in order to help this youth.
At the time the nation is celebrating the 52nd edition of the National Youth Day, Christian Ziki stands out as an example for other youths in Gaundori to emulate.
A wonderful inspiration there. We take you now to CRTV Bamenda, where officials of the youth wing of the Central Committee of the CPDM have paid a visit to the youths of that locality. The intention of the visit is to unite youths in the Northwest region in the phase of crisis that has been disturbing most of them. Amongst the announcement made during the visit is the creation of over 40 jobs for the youths in the Northwest region. As you tell us, Eric Langmia-Wufo.
The YCBDM officials say their visit to the Northwest region is on a move to bring together the Cameroonian youth for empowerment towards Vision 2035. After meeting with administrative, traditional and youth leaders, the officials announced the creation of over 40 jobs for youths from the Northwest region.
We came here during this Youth Week to assist them and to show them our solidarity by some jobs which have been given to us by some friends.
Meantime, a committee to pilot the recruitment exercise was put in place during the event.
It's a great booster to the youths, and I'm sure that with this, some of the great tensions that we are facing today will be calmed down.
The national president of the YCPDM was accompanied by a central committee delegate of the CPDM, who after the visit was impressed with the state of affairs.
What I see here, I have not expected it. And you know that the young symbolize the future, and the young symbolize the hope. And after the crisis, I'm seeing now that all the things are going to be good, and the youths assure us that, and we are so happy. We are going to back and tell what we are seeing here.
Party supporters have requested the chairman of the CPDM, President Paul Biya, to launch political campaigns for this year's elections in the Northwest region.
President Paul Biya will remain our candidate for the upcoming presidential election, and we wish that His Excellency President Paul Biya should come and launch the elections here in Bamenda.
The sensitization visit took the party officials to the Bamenda Regional Hospital. Here donated items consisting of sanitation kits, wheelbarrows, among others. They also visited the sick in the hospital wards.
Eric Langmia for concluding this edition of the 7 a.m. news. Thanks for always choosing the CRTV. More news continues on CRTV News. I should be back again tomorrow, God willing. Until then, Hello Cameroon continues.
We'll be looking forward to see you again even next week. Emanuela Vernier, it's with a lot of joy that we receive you, and that we're now sending you off with a beautiful song. This is a song that says Home, Sweet Home. What a time indeed to have this song. It's a fresh release. It's not even like a month on the market, and we are grabbing it to share with you. It's coming from, she's called himself Julio Abong. Just enjoy this sweet song.
Never forget where you come from. Sweet home, there is no place like home.
que jamo we u que jama kona framboye fangasimo elone die fevret bemando avec jam elone die fevret bemando we vevante die se que jamo e shike jamanale Martina fait pour le kujam. Oh, sweet home, there is no place like home. Oh yeah, shake buddy. Oh yeah, shake 'em. Forget where you come from. Oh, sweet home, there is no place like home. Oh, sweet home, there is no Jamais connaît framboyer, Bella ou que jamais connaît framboyer, oh, sweet home, there is no place like home. Oh, sweet home, there is no place like home. Oh, sweet home, there is no place like home.
Who said if you're called Abong, like the Abong in the northwest region, you cannot sing a song that sounds like the Makosa in the littoral region? That's how Cameroon has become, you know. How do you separate that? I don't know. But while we are at it, though, we are enjoying the song. Beautiful song. I want to use this song to wish happy birthday to a few persons. And each week, we try to put these songs out and ask you to dedicate them to persons you love, persons far away from you, probably, that you want to say hello to. Use that opportunity and wish maybe happy birthday to persons who are celebrating a year older. Well, today is Gala Funfe Courage's birthday. Happy birthday to you, Gala Courage Funfe. Also, Tamfu Richard Comfort, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. And Numbi Alex, happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday, please, this is what we say on Hello Cameroon, grab it. Nobody will give it to you. If you don't grab it, it just passes, okay? Grab it, hold it, and run with it. Run as fast as you can. Let nobody catch you. Because at midnight, it'll be like Cinderella's shoes, okay? Somebody else will take it from you. And now, let's get a read ahead of what the papers have for us. As I discussed with Baldwin, though, I want you to comment on our talking point today, which is, do men gossip? Tell me about it. Our number is 663039233. We'll have some reactions already, and Baldwin is puffing with laughter. But we want your reaction. Send us your comments. Baldwin, good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm very fine, thank you.
Before we shoot, though, do men gossip?
Men don't gossip. Men do what they call matured discussion.
You know these things, it doesn't matter how you call it, I will take it. So do men do mature discussion? Discuss with us. Baldwin, tell me, what did you get in the papers?
We have many stories, especially that concerning the appointments of members of the the Constitutional Council. That was
you get yesterday. It, don't worry. From this morning, it's news.
Yesterday, I will begin with Cameroon Tribune that talks about the Constitutional Council. That is here. 3 decrees signed by the President of the Republic yesterday, Wednesday. The first appoints members of the Constitutional Council. The second appoints the President of the Constitutional Council, Clement Atangana, and the third convenes the Electoral College for the 25th of March this year, 2018, for the election of senators in Cameroon. In this edition of Alone Bilingual Daily, it comes back with the three different decrees signed by President Paul Biya yesterday, and also profiles some of these pioneer members of the Constitutional Council in Cameroon, and especially the pioneer president, Clement Atangana, and what are the challenges awaiting the Constitutional Council, especially the members appointed yesterday by this decree signed by the President of the Republic. We stay with Cameroon Tribune. This time it talks about fuel distribution in the nation's capital city, Yaoundé, where filling stations are facing some difficulties. The paper explains to us this morning that some fuel distribution stations in Yaoundé are experiencing some turbulent moments following managerial and financial difficulties they are facing, and that has it has caused the shutdown of some filling stations in Yaoundé. What exactly is happening? Cameroon Tribune went investigating, and they have an in-depth report as to what's the situation in some of these filling stations in Yaoundé. Mutation published this Thursday morning talks about the Constitutional Council with the 11 status, those appointed by presidential decree yesterday, Wednesday, to be pioneer members of the Constitutional Council in Cameroon. Who are they? Who were they before the appointments yesterday by President Paul Biya? This paper goes further to profile each of them, and the paper concludes by informing us this morning that all transitional organs are now in place in Cameroon, with the long-awaited Constitutional Council set up yesterday by a presidential decree. Le Messager still talks about a similar story. The Constitutional Council, after the presidential decree of last evening, the paper says preparing an eventual case of vacancy. Here comes the Constitutional Council with its pioneer members appointed, and especially its pioneer president, Clement Atangana, who happens to be the former president of the administrative bench of the Supreme Court in Cameroon. 22 years after its creation on paper, this is the Constitutional Council that will go effective in the days ahead. L'Essentiel this Thursday still talks about the Constitutional Council created yesterday, or members appointed yesterday rather, by a presidential decree. These are the 11 gentlemen, pioneer members of the Constitutional Council and in Cameroon, and also talks about the lady appointed amongst the gentlemen. Anecdote this morning also talks about these 11 pioneer members of the Constitutional Council appointed by President Paul Biya, and the paper goes further to profile all these 11 persons who have the responsibility to work as members of the Constitutional Council, with their first challenge that would be in the month of March, especially on the 25th of March, talking about the senatorial elections we are going to have in Cameroon. The latest edition of the Guardian Post, published this morning, says Paul Biya sets senatorial elections dates and appoints Constitutional Council members. After the 3 decrees signed by the head of state yesterday, the Electoral College has been convened for the 25th of March this year for the election of senators in Cameroon, with these pioneer members of the Constitutional Council having a great role to play, those appointed yesterday. If there's a similar story, you can get to read in the latest edition of the Post, that's the Post Weekender, talking about the appointment of these members of the Constitutional Council by presidential decree yesterday. 2018 elections, Paul Biya convenes senatorial elections on the 25th of March this year. All guns dominate the membership as to those who were appointed yesterday. Rumor talks about how the parliamentary and council elections may be postponed to 2019, and the paper also has a reaction of the chairman of the leading opposition political party in Cameroon, John Funzi, after last night's presidential decree appointing members of the Constitutional Council. Almost all papers this morning are talking about the Constitutional Council and those appointed yesterday, especially its pioneer president, Clement Atangana. That's why we invite our viewers to go to the kiosk, buy these papers, know more about this council and the members, and especially about Cameroon.
Definitely get informed about the things that are happening in the country, and you could start with the papers, but it's your choice as well to go beyond that. You could stay on the CRTV for a whole day. Why not? Boarding summer.
Yes,
I want to show you something. Priscilla Loom is smiling as I'm showing you this. Do you know what this is?
No.
I could give you some. Take a 30 seconds look and tell me, what do you see?
I'm still too...
Oh, come on. For the benefit of our viewers, what do you see? What, chocolate?
I was eventually going to mention them chocolate because I was driving towards that.
Talking about chocolate, though, I hear, what will you be doing on Wednesday next week?
I'll be working. I'll be working.
All day?
Yes, because I work during the day. I go back home and rest. I come back to work at 9 p.m. to prepare for the midnight news.
On the 14th of February, you'll be working?
Yes, I'll be working all day.
We shall see that here. I mean, I'll make sure I check. Because I hear some of you say that on the 14th of February, you'll be watching... what is that funny team?
There's PSG against
What is
Real
that team you
Madrid.
talk about? And some of you say I'm a Christian, okay? I say that with you too. But that thing they call fasting, it starts after service. There is service 2 at 6:30. So do service at 6:30 and then the other one can come before. You see what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Well, so Bodin, that was that's something called Made in Cameroon. I mean, it's done by a woman here in Cameroon.
Thanks so much.
She takes cocoa beans and she does magic with it.
Okay.
And it gives that. Instead of having the very different varied types of snacks we have, you can have this one, quite new.
Thank you so much.
You can also take it home, but that's not what you should offer on Wednesday next week. You should look for something, a piece of paper that has a name on it. That's the kind of gift I want.
Eventually,
Priscilla Lum, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm okay.
I'm not going to ask you what you'll be doing on Wednesday because...
routine.
Okay, no comment. Let's comment about chicken, which is definitely becoming very scarce on the market. We're into our market trend speech this morning. And you say that the scarcity of fish, which we were talking about last time, has definitely caused some other...
It's provoking other sources of protein to also increase their prices on the market. Yeah, I visited the market over the weekend and within this week and discovered that the prices of chicken actually are going up.
Okay.
It's true that the vendors, the traders, they try to explain that because poultry farmers used a lot of energy and resources rearing chicken during the Christmas, the festive season.
They have slowed down now.
They've slowed down. They're trying to take a rest. That's why there is not much on the market. And then to trigger this, the scarcity of mackerel, you know, that fish that everybody adores, every household eats on a daily basis, is causing people to turn to other sources of protein, and chicken is one of them. And so, you know, business people being what they are, have also had that temptation has touched them to also increase the prices of chicken. Now, a 45-day-old chick that used to sell for 3,000 francs, in places, some places 2,500, is now at 4,000 francs.
That's a big leap.
Yes, a very big one. And you know, because business people are opportunists, they always use such situations, and then coupled with the fact that it was just end of month and they believe that there is money circulating and people go to buy to stock their homes. So the prices really went up last Saturday and I was so surprised with that. And then it also pushed, the scarcity of chicken also pushed, you know, butchers to want to increase the price of a kilogram of beef. And I asked them, but the minister clearly spelled out that a kilogram of beef without bones is 2,600. Why is it 2,800 francs now? Madam.
There's no beef. You can't find cows, so no beef.
No, because they know that when something that is always, you know, the popular side is empty, people now turn to the other side. And that is exactly what is happening. So this problem of the scarcity of mackerel and an increase in the price of the very limited quantity is actually pushing people to the walls.
Okay. Yeah. What do you recommend, though? Do you have the impression that we will be seeing less price hikes? Or you have the impression that it is for a long run?
No, it's going to be for a short period. You know, Pochi, you know, as I said, this could just be an artificial scarcity because business people, being what they are, they take opportunities like this to make brisk business. But I believe that farmers are actually rearing chicks because if it is your profession, if it is your full-time job to be a poultry farmer, you should not give gaps. That means the farming should continue rearing, you should do them in sets, and so that there is no scarcity on the market at any moment. And also with the mackerel, I am very sure that the government authorities are already working on that so that...
To make sure it comes back?
Yes.
Because, it's a big issue.
Yeah, because the kilogram has moved from 1,100 francs to 1,400 francs in the fish stores, which means that the households are actually feeling the pinch at this moment. And when they turn to chicken, that also is one of those sources of protein that is always filling the gap. When it's also expensive, they start feeling the pinch a lot. So we just invite them to be patient and find other sources. We have beans, we have soya beans, we have other mbunga, we have freshwater fish, we have many other sources of protein that can still keep your home going.
We have our heads. Use them and be creative. Solve your, you know, they say necessity is the mother of invention. So this is like a big field of necessity. Use it and create. Thank you so much, Priscilla. The reason why I'm saying thank you so much is because of this. You brought me this. And do you want to tell us what this is?
That's my discovery of 2018.
Yes.
Because of the youth activities going on at the museum, National Museum, I discovered a lady who
sells actually them in packs like this.
Yes.
It's a kind of snack.
Cocoa, yes. That's a product, one of the products made from cocoa powder.
Okay.
And her first statement, she told me, was Cameroonian cocoa is suffering on the world market. And so we have to devise many strategies to consume Cameroonian cocoa locally. And she did this. When I tasted, I said, no, this is wonderful.
Yes.
So in our Made in Cameroon slot, which will begin next week, we'll be having this lady. She will be the very first to open that slot because that is an initiative to encourage people should use what is around them and enjoy it. And one thing about cocoa is because it's very healthful, Pochi. You know that very well.
Okay.
So added to that, there is sesame seed, there is moringa, there is ginger, there is honey. Put all of that together in a snack. I think it's so wonderful.
Definitely. I tasted it, and I hope that in our Made in Cameroon page, we'll definitely showcase more of these kind of initiatives so that we can begin to feel more pride towards our own.
You can give me some of them.
Sure, definitely. Why will I not? Thank you, Priscilla. Quick question, though. Do men gossip?
Well, you know, men set the trend, so they don't want to associate themselves with negative things. So they always say it's not gossip. As Baldwin said, they
do mature,
but men gossip more than women.
It's the landing that I'm going to take. The introduction, I leave it to you. Thank you so much for coming on the program, Priscilla.
Thank you very much.
In a short while, we'll be having, I think, our health page. And behind that, we're going to be receiving a man of God with whom we'll be talking a lot of very interesting issues. But let me read this message, just to let you know that you can start sending your messages in case you haven't. We have received some. Let me read just one for you. Good morning to Pochi and the team. Gossiping has shifted from a female thing to involve the men. I didn't know it was a female thing. You tell me that some other day. Men who gossip are dangerous, more dangerous than men. So men, let's control our mouths. It's coming from a man, or it's not from me. His name is Ngwa Dennis. He's principal of ACHS in Bamenda. Thank you so much, Ngwa Dennis, for commenting on Hello Cameroon today. Share with us. Let us know what you think. Do men gossip? I don't know. Our number is 66303-9233. Now let's take this report, and I'll meet you behind with Charles Abune.
That has been set aside to promote bilingualism. It's called the Bilingualism Week, and we know you're one of the members of the Bilingualism Commission in Cameroon. Bilingualism has been in Cameroon since the inception, I can say, the beginning of this country, but it's not really working. As a member, what do you think is lacking for that bilingualism to really...
Yeah, Joyce, bilingualism in itself means nothing. Bilingualism is good, yes, it's good. But bilingualism on its own represents nothing. Bilingualism without core values, core spiritual and moral values, represents nothing. So if bilingualism is placed on the platform of love, justice, equity, the fear of the Lord, the rule of law, the respect for the Constitution, the respect for human rights, patriotism, integrity, accountability, then it will mean something. We know so many people who are bilingual who have destroyed this nation. We know them, you know them. So bilingualism without morality and spirituality for me represents nothing. So if bilingualism must mean anything today and tomorrow, it must go with those core spiritual and moral values that I just named.
Somebody listening to you, Barrister, and knows the definition of bilingualism as being able to speak English or French, you know, where does the core values come in?
Yeah, you cannot speak. I have indicated that if you are bilingual, and we know people who are a million times bilingual, who have destroyed the very fabric of this nation, who have looted, plundered, who are into moral decadence, you can imagine in all its forms. So bilingualism without those moral values, for me, represents nothing. Cameroon is a very rich nation, paradoxically so poor. Why? It is not bilingualism that makes a country rich. It is Moral values. If you don't have moral values, bilingualism represents nothing.
So your commission will be based on morality?
It has to. If it's not based on morality enough, don't count me out. If it's not based on, if it doesn't have those like core values to work on, then it has nothing to offer to society. Because when you are giving a lecture like I do, whether in universities or higher institutions, and you don't talk integrity, dignity, honor, patriotism, the law of your nation, respect of the Constitution, respect for state institutions, what are you talking about? You cannot do that without the fear of the Lord, without seeking first the face of the Lord, seeking first the kingdom of heaven, and all other things will come. We have dumped the kingdom of heaven to the dogs, and we are looking at the kingdom of promotions, kingdom of appointments, titles, kingdom of all of this. That is what we are looking for, and that's why we are going down here.
Barrister Nico Hale talking there to Joyce Fawaju on the CRTV. Now we have Charles Ebune. We told you we're in the Youth Week, and it will culminate to activities of marking another year of another day of youth celebrations on the 11th of February on Sunday. Charles Ebune, good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Now tell me, you've decided on a day in history, so we look at the start of the 11th of February.
Absolutely, because on Saturday will be February 11th, so let us do a flashback of where we came to arrive to the day we are celebrating. It's typically a British Empire affair, and since part of what is today, the Republic of Cameroon used to be under British administration for roughly 44 years. In those days, our parents, our ancestors were celebrating Empire Day, which was just normally the Queen's or the King's birthday, depending who was the head of the British monarchy at the time. And in the then Southern Cameroons, Empire Day was celebrated alongside Scouts, and then something happened in 1954 when the then British Southern Cameroons was granted a quasi-federal territory after the Eastern regional crisis of in Nigeria, where we were attached. So on the 24th of that month, which was the 24th of October, the Southern Cameroons Day celebrations started. So progressively, this was transformed to February 11. And why? Because this is the day that a plebiscite which determined the future of the then British mandated territory or trusteeship decided to be part of the independent Republic of Cameroon as of January 1, 1960, following the 1961 plebiscites to be part of this new union which we are in today. And so after some time, the administration thought that the 11th of February Day, which is one of our historic days, should be commemorated as Youth Day. But the other side of Cameroon, East Cameroon now, since 1961 we are talking of East Cameroon, we are no longer talking of Republic of Cameroon or West Cameroon. The administration of President Amadou Ahidjo thought it wise that since it was an important day, knowing that a portion of the Cameroons too equally went to Nigeria, I'm talking about Northern Cameroon, under the progressive movement of people like Malam Habab Habib, joined Northern Nigeria and formed the Nigerian Federation. So finally, to culminate the National Day of Mourning, which had been observed on the 2nd of June for the loss of that part of the territory, in 1966, considering that it was already a good event in the West Cameroon at the time, the federal administration decided that the 11th of February Day, the plebiscite day, will be transformed to National Youth Day to make them remember one of the historic moments of the nation as they are part in nation building. So that is how we ended with 11 February, which we are celebrating today, and it will be the 52nd edition this year. In those days, there used to be canoe races, a speech from the Prime Minister of then West Cameroon. I'm very careful with those words because
those appellations
territories
have changed.
They have changed. They no longer exist.
Exactly.
Yes, so I'm putting them in the right historical context. Some people may not be happy, but I have to be truthful to myself because the nation we have today is not what we have.
Part
in
of
the
being an adult
1960s. Yes.
is learning not to worry or to worry less about what people will say. Okay, just say it first. What you have to do is just take full responsibility for it.
More on this, for those who want more on this, they should consult the National Archives in Boya, where you will find details by Dio Kisop. Do you know Barrister Luke Kisop?
Definitely.
Yes.
We've had him
the
here
ancestors
on the program.
had so much to play in all of this.
Thank you so much, Charles Sebune.
You're
and
welcome.
In a short while, we'll be switching. You're not going.
I'm just switching.
You're going to stay with us so that we talk to the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, Right Reverend Funky Samuel Foba, who has joined us. Good morning, Reverend. Thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
New Year to you.
Same to you.
All right.
You're welcome, Mr. Moderator. Maybe
Thank
since
you,
we are in the Youth Week, we cue in from there. I wonder when was the last time you celebrated Youth Day as a student, or when last did you? Were you a youth?
How was it?
It was always exciting.
Yeah.
I know in those days we used to have the white canvas shoes and white socks.
Definitely, I remember that too.
Color them with the chalk.
With the chalk,
If
yeah.
you don't do that and you don't have them, then
Yes.
the Youth Day was a bad one.
Okay.
It was usually an exciting moment for us because we also had sporting activities and other activities that brought joy to the youths at the time.
Yeah. And when we are talking about youths, we are talking about transformation and we are talking about societal movement and metamorphosis. I can remember that back in 2015 when you were you became the moderator of the PCC, you introduced the concept of a transformation within the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon. Where are we today with that idea?
A good question. It has been going on, and it is an uphill task that you cannot accomplish alone. It was a concept that we introduced when we came into office, and we thought that it was time for the church to be transformed and to formulate Presbyterians to become transformed transformers in a world like ours today.
You know, most of your Christians are people who have not gone to school, and many of them in the ordinary villages. When you said transformation of the church to the ordinary communicant of the PCC, what did that mean?
It generally means doing things in a different way,
okay,
and in a more sustainable way.
Okay.
For instance, we've carried out a lot of spiritual activities to engage the Christians in a more aggressive spiritual activities within the church, organizing the 40 days Lent program for all the Christians of the church, organizing retreats for our pastors, and also trying to see how we can create a partnership, continuous partnership with the state of Cameroon in the areas of enabling the state of Cameroon to recognize religious studies in admission into universities in Cameroon, and also to see how we can encourage our Christians who are politicians to inform the government that it is necessary that in all state activities we should recognize the presence of God.
Okay.
And so these are some of the transformative activities that we're carrying out in the area of spirituality.
Okay. You just mentioned religious studies. I did religion in high school, and I had that. That simply means education.
Of course.
You are operating within a very defined context now, especially in the Northwest and Southwest, where most of your schools
the stronghold of the church
is found. And there are rumors that most of the PCC schools are closed and that things are not functioning well. What is the situation with PCC schools? Will PCC students be participating in Youth Day activities? First of all, are they going to school in the Northwest and Southwest? Let's start from there.
Of course, most of our schools are operational, but in the hinterlands, the schools are not functional.
Okay.
Of course, you understand the reasons. Beginning end of 2016 and all of 2017, we had a blank year, and that affected the educational system of the church a lot. But when we were to start the 2017-2018 academic year, called for school resumption, and most of our schools opened their doors, And we had, in some schools, very timid enrollment that could not meet up with the running of the activities of the school. So we have not closed our schools per se, and the schools that are functional now, they would definitely be part of the youth activities within this period, and it is their rights as youths of our nation to be part of the activities, and no church organization or church authority could stop them from participating in the activities of the Youth Day celebrations. And so what we have done with those schools that are timidly having very low enrollment is that we have asked the Synod Committee of the Church, the Synod of the Church, which is the highest ruling body of the Church, to revisit the schools and find out whether we should continue with them or not. And so they came up with a proposal of decentralizing management by giving the schools to the communities so that they could manage them. And when some of the schools were handed over to the communities, to our greatest amazement, enrollment doubled. And so that is the situation of our schools today. No school has been closed, but we have used another innovative,
a different approach,
to making the schools functional.
Reverend, when I listen to you talk, there is a question that comes to my mind. The church, the Presbyterian Church, especially when you're talking about schools, it's a mechanism. It needs funding. There are people in there who depend on that funding to sustain families. I'm thinking of teachers. Yeah. I'm thinking of people who work to maintain the structures. Just everybody there. How do you survive? I mean, you spent a blank year, which means that you had all this staff, all these persons.
Maybe you should say that the blank year maybe to the PCC, because Minister Chiroma will tell you that there wasn't any blank year.
Well, he just said that they had a blank year.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, in terms of that, it means you had teachers, administrators waiting to be active. They weren't very active. You had all those people. How do you manage?
To begin with, I want to commend the efforts of the PCC workers in the education sphere of our church, because they are very committed, very sacrificial in their activities as teachers, auxiliary staff, and what you have to make the school functional. And these people, at times, they go for months without salaries, yet they keep on teaching. And they keep on giving quality education to young Cameroonians, which is something that I must say here that I praise them and God should bless them. You know, it all started in 2012 where, because all along, if you read back into history, the church has always been a partner in development with the state. And schools were brought into Cameroon by missionaries and controlled by the churches. And finally, government took upon itself to start establishing schools all around the country. And so, at first, we're partners in the area of education with the state. But at some point, it looks as if we are now competitors. Because when you have a Presbyterian secondary school or primary school, you have about 4 different government schools surrounding that school. In other words, to kill the church school. But I think what we offer is not just intellectual knowledge, but we offer moral and ethical values to our children. That's why our schools are still surviving. And so in the event of all of this, by 2012, subventions were slashed down by 75%. And so we could not even catch up with managing the salaries and CNPS and other taxes of our teachers. And that also led into this blank year that just put us off guard. And so in the event of all of this, we have been having top meetings with the stakeholders of the education authority of our church, putting the cards on the table, being transparent and being accountable of the situation and the facts on the ground.
Are you reassured that it's working? Are you confident that it's okay?
Of course, it's working.
Let's move to another area. Apart from educational challenges, the PCC equally has an area it has to look at under your leadership. We are talking about the health centers in the country, like the one in Okoy, Bisongabang. There are claims that it is closed. You know, the one of the best tuberculosis centers in the country, Manyemen, which is not functioning normally.
what is going on with such establishments, and what is the situation of the so talked about Cameroon Christian University that the PCC was to be the boss?
Questions are too many.
Let's start with the health.
Let's start
what is your opinion of the health?
I got all of them.
Yeah.
I think in the health services, the PCC is doing very well, and we have one of the best ophthalmic hospitals in Cameroon, in Central Africa, so to say. Because if you go to Bafoussam and to Douala, and you visit our ophthalmic hospitals in Bafoussam and Douala, you will agree with me that we are top in the country and beyond. You see, the mission of the church involves the healing ministry, the teaching ministry, and the preaching ministry. And so in the healing ministry, the church thought that we should get into those poverty-stricken areas in the villages to set up health centers where we can now send doctors there from time to time to take care to give quality health care to patients in those kind of areas. But of recent, that is not actually working out so well. And so, for instance, in the case of Besangabang that you have just mentioned, the crisis are affecting us a lot. For instance, we attached a health center to every secondary school, and now to cater for the health needs of the students. And if the students are not there, the health center becomes dysfunctional. And that's exactly the situation. If you go to Besangabang, you will not find the kind of students the number of students we used to have there in the past before the crisis. And so that has automatically killed the activities of the health center. And as of now, it is almost sharing boundaries with an army camp, and people cannot come for healthcare delivery in that area because they are afraid of the presence.
What about the Christian University?
The Christian University is also having the same problem. We are facing the same crisis because the number of students we had in the past are not more there for the same reasons. And it also came as a huge bomb to the church when the medical school was suspended, and we are struggling to do everything to have it re-established. And we are also glad to note that with the Protestant University of Central Africa, we have gotten into partnership with the university to see how we can have a campus to be mentored by the Protestant University of Central Africa, funded by the Bread for the World.
You just mentioned there the task of the church, which is to teach, to heal, and to preach. We talked about teaching, we talked about health. I want us to look a little bit at preaching, because first of all, do you think the problems we've raised in education and in health so far, you can tackle them probably through preaching? How is preaching going on? Is everything okay, or there are things you wish were happening differently?
Yeah, preaching is going on well, but from time to time we have emotional undertones in some of the preachers who are so overwhelmed by the happenings around the country, and they will be emotionally worked up to say things that...
How do you handle that?
Well, one of the things is that we caution such preachers and we ask them to preach just the gospel, because the bare gospel presented by Jesus Christ was like a two-edged sword that could pierce through the marrow and the sinew and to bring hope to people. So it is not your attitude in the sermon, it is the work of the Holy Spirit in what you say that matters. So you might bring your emotional force in the message and your own thoughts in the message, but the message will not go through to edify people. It might instead go to divide people. But the message that is prompted by the Holy Spirit can actually touch life. So in situations like this, we will try as much as possible. Like I said a while ago, we have pastors' retreats, and we have monthly meetings with our pastors where we coordinate ourselves in matters of preaching.
We are in the Youth Week. The PCC, for so many years, had what they call the Presbyterian Youth Centers. What has become of them?
They're still there, but they are not as functional as they used to be in the past.
What was their contribution in training young people? Because normally they were talking about young people.
Yeah,
and bringing them spiritually upright.
You know, the church at one point discovered that we had a lot of school dropouts who were just roaming the streets and had nothing to do. So the church thought of rehabilitating them and giving them sustainable activities that can engage them into the world again and enable them to live a life for themselves. So the youth centers were there to bring youths of that nature, to train them in embroidery, in computer services, in sewing and other activities that could keep them busy and give them something to do for themselves and to earn a living. So for now, those services have slowed down, but we are struggling to see how we can revitalize those units of our church, and so we have written some projects, and the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development has even funded some of these centers with machines that will be able to sustain the activities again.
Mr. Moderator, the interview will be coming to an end very shortly. Let me ask you a question I asked the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, and she didn't provide a satisfactory answer. You are a Christian and a man of God. Do you find it easy that you have people who prevent children from going to school, when I know that during World War I, the only thing which wasn't stopped was school? World War II, the only thing which wasn't stopped was school. Even apartheid in South Africa, those who were fighting for liberation continued that children should go to school. And even Adolf Hitler didn't stop Jews from schooling. Do you find it normal as a Christian, and that some of those people doing those things are Christians? Do you find it normal?
It's very, very abnormal and unacceptable. Because to me, I believe that when you close the school door, you are opening the prison door, by implication. And if you go to our communities today, as I went to Akwaya to visit my people, I was scandalized and I cried all night because of what I saw. You find teenagers of 11, 12 years being pregnant and doing obnoxious things that if they were in school, they would not even think about such things. To me, is an unacceptable attitude. And I think that you cannot build a nation by killing the generation that has to sustain that nation. And if you are keen to the social media, I was one of the first church leaders in Anglophone Cameroon that called for school resumption. And if you still search the internet, you realize that, or the social media, that a cross was placed on my face. And
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw
and on my pectoral cross, it was written "Evil Man." But I don't care. And I've been preaching school's resumption, and children should be sent to school since that time, even up till now. And it's so embarrassing that up to now in the hinterlands, the areas where are really, really backward in civilization, is where they are hard hit with the situation, where children are not allowed to go to school. Of course, it comes to buttress what used to happen in the past. When I was a young child, we never wanted to go to school. They would send the big boys to come and arrest us to class.
Oh, I remember my mom caning me to make sure I go to school.
Maybe a question about achievements and the future of the PCC.
So it just come to make the children to be very happy.
To take many more questions, just maybe one more on the future of the PCC, and maybe your wish. What do you wish to see happen at this point?
I wish for a sustainable Presbyterian church in Cameroon. When I look at the worship life of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, I feel really, really sad, because our church services are becoming more or less like fundraising arenas, where the spiritual aspect within a worship service takes just about 10-15 minutes, and the rest of it is there is an offering for this, there is an offering for that, there is an offering for that. I am looking for a situation where our worship services will be purely spiritual, just the word of God preached, and then giving or offering should be a divine responsibility of the Christians, where the church should start thinking of other sustainable activities that can keep the church financially stable, while the worship services are just there to give spiritual nourishment to
preach,
Christians.
to heal, and
so
to teach.
I pray that should happen in the near
Thank you
future.
so much, the moderator of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, Right Reverend Funky Foba. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so
It was a very interesting moment to have to do. Charles Abune, thank you. I take leave of both of you because in a short while we'll be having news with Daniel Menanga. Stay with us.
And men of God don't gossip.
I don't know you after the deal, and you don't know.
Medako will charge you for murder. Any problem with that?
But he's dead and gone.
What did you just say? He's my uncle, of course. Let's take a vote. The choice is yours. Then you ask her, not me.
I want to know. What? Don't you dare. And remember, two wrongs cannot make a right.
What is it?
To become your second wife. Please take it easy with them.
Yes, I will.
My God, Daddy!
This is no more the girl I raised. My daughter.
Oh, yes!
Can you tell me who gave Sophia the money she gave you?
What do you do with the billions you have? If you are ready to learn, tell me. Your husband is a foolish man. What, do you think me for a fool?
Son, get ready.
She didn't tell anybody where she got the money. How on earth can you do that at this age?
How old is the pregnancy?
If you want to leave, don't come back.
Lord have mercy. Where have you been this season?
My name is Victor.
I want you to traffic a male child in my favor.
Take it or leave it. I know nothing, period. If not because I'm your family doctor, I've asked you to get out. With which hands? You this little brat I saw growing up. I was always
Bonjour à tous, bienvenue aux 8 heures. Ouvrons cette édition du jeudi 8 février 2018 par les importants textes du président de la République signés hier mercredi. En substance, le corps constitutionnel est mis en place, son président, ses membres sont nommés. Un important texte convoque également le collège électoral pour les élections sénatoriales. Les précisions avec Séverin Alégambélé.
Cela avait déjà été dit. 2018 est une année électorale importante. Le président de la République en donne la preuve en signant ce mercredi un décret convoquant le collège électoral en vue de l'élection des sénateurs le dimanche 25 mars prochain. Le scrutin de liste sans vote préférentiel ni panachage, convoqué au moins 45 jours avant, va se dérouler entre 8h et 18h. La grande annonce vient de l'effectivité du Conseil constitutionnel dont les 11 membres ont été nommés pour un mandat de 6 ans éventuellement renouvelable. On le verra bien à l'œuvre pendant les élections sénatoriales parce que justement son rôle est, entre autres, de veiller à la régularité des élections parlementaires, des consultations référendaires et d'en proclamer les résultats.
S'agissant de la lecture technique, juridique, on observe qu'une bonne partie des membres nommés par le président de la République ont une bonne expertise juridique. Je prendrai quelques exemples des universitaires qui se retrouvent membres de ce conseil constitutionnel. Le professeur Bipounoum, le professeur Lekenen Donfak et surtout le conseiller juridique du chef de l'État, ce qui démontre qu'on a pleinement conscience des missions qui sont dévolues à cette juridiction dans la protection de la suprématie de la norme constitutionnelle et dans la consolidation de l'État de droit au Cameroun.
Le troisième texte signé par le président de la République ce mercredi organise le secrétariat général, l'appareil administratif du Conseil constitutionnel.
Dans l'agenda du jour, les journées diocésaines de l'enseignement catholique s'ouvrent. Le ministère de l'Agriculture présentera des guides de facilitation et d'incubation des entrepreneurs. D'autres rendez-vous de l'actualité avec Inès Magoum.
Aujourd'hui s'ouvrent les journées diocésaines de l'enseignement catholique. C'est à l'esplanade de l'école Notre-Dame de Volier à Yaoundé. Il s'agit d'un événement organisé par le CEDI et placé sous le haut patronage de Monseigneur Jean Barga, archevêque de Yaoundé. La commission scientifique du Centre de recherche sur les filarioses et autres maladies tropicales se réunit ce jour dans ses locaux à Yaoundé. Durant cette rencontre, un accent sera mis sur les résultats de la phase d'opérationnalisation du traitement de l'onchocercose par la stratégie Test and Treat dans le district de santé de Soa. Les établissements situés dans la zone impactée par le projet de construction du barrage hydroélectrique du Nactigal recevront dès 10 heures des matériels d'appui et de renforcement de la formation technique et professionnelle. La cérémonie sera présidée par le ministre des Enseignements secondaires au lycée technique d'Obala, dans le département de la Léquié. Le secrétaire général du CAMES, par ailleurs secrétaire permanent de conférence des recteurs des universités d'Afrique centrale et de l'océan Indien, donnera un point de presse à l'université de Yaoundé à partir de 14 heures. La première édition du Festival des grillades du Cameroun s'ouvre ce jeudi au Musée national à Yaoundé. L'événement a pour but de valoriser le métier de grillade. Il va se poursuivre jusqu'au 11 février prochain.
Nous reparlons politique. Le président du Sénat, en séjour à Douala, a reçu des élites et des autorités traditionnelles. Chef de communauté des ressortissants de la région de l'Ouest vivant à Douala, le ministre Laurent Esso, élite du littoral, se succède à la résidence de Marcel Nyat Difendi. Le contenu des échanges avec Daoud Moulium, Certivi Littoral.
Merci encore.
Un geste de cœur, un acte de soutien à l'endroit d'un père de famille. Le geste est symbolique, mais la nature du cadeau en dit long. Un fauteuil royal, offert par l'ensemble des chefs des communautés des ressortissants de l'Ouest vivant dans l'Ovouri. Ils sont derrière le président du Sénat, Marcel Nyat Difendi. Mais surtout, il s'est agi de réitérer leur engagement pour l'accompagnement de la politique du chef de l'État, Paul Biya. Engagement approuvé au cours des futures échéances électorales.
Il aura certainement l'occasion de me dire « assois-toi ».
Ce conseil soutient les objectifs du chef de l'État qui prône pour le vivre ensemble et de l'unité qui est la pièce fondamentale du développement de notre pays.
La résidence du président du Sénat, prise d'assaut au quartier Bonakwamwa ce mardi, était aussi une opportunité d'adresser des vœux à l'hôte principal en ce début d'année. Pour y participer, le ministre Laurent Esso, le gouverneur Samuel Dieudonné Ivahadibois, le préfet du Vouri, Joseph Bertrand Maché, des élus locaux ainsi que l'ensemble des sénateurs du littoral et autres personnalités.
Chez nous, les Bantous, l'allégeance au chef est un devoir. Lui exprimer nos vœux, les meilleurs pour l'année 2018, et lui demander également de penser et de veiller sur nous.
La volonté de vivre ensemble des communautés de l'Ouest est réelle à Douala. Leur regard est davantage convergent sur le choix de leurs dirigeants.
Dans 3 jours, la célébration de la 52e édition de la fête de la jeunesse. Honneur à ces jeunes, à la conquête du succès. Direction Ngaoundéré dans la région de la Damawa. Christian Zeki, 29 ans, peint avec amour et détermination les lettres de son avenir. Alvin Bouangazier l'a rencontré. Son reportage.
C'est ici à Ngaoundéré, chef-lieu de la région de la Damawa, que Christian Zeki Tchoumke a vu le jour il y a 29 ans. Christian, comme tous les jeunes, à scolarité difficile, a frôlé de près la délinquance.
On se met à faire beaucoup de petites erreurs, peut-être des fois à cause de la compagnie qu'on a.
Aujourd'hui, Christian est un peintre professionnel, décorateur en bâtiment, sérigraphe, sculpteur sur bois et céramique. Il recycle également des objets jugés vétustes et en fait des œuvres d'art.
Avec ces roues de voiture, j'essaie donc de remettre ça en valeur. Parce que, bon, là maintenant, je fabrique des poufs avec des poufs sur lesquels on peut s'asseoir. Et ces poufs jouent elles jouent 2 rôles. En même temps, un rôle utilitaire, donc on peut s'asseoir dessus et on peut aussi conserver, garder les choses à l'intérieur.
Dans son appartement qu'il partage avec ses frères cadets, le décor seul parle de l'artiste. Un chef d'entreprise jeune, Christian se permet des pauses détente avec des amis et le choix du lieu n'est pas toujours anodin, puisque même ici, au bois de Madoc, espace de loisirs et de distraction de la ville de Ngaoundéré, ses œuvres sont visibles. Pour ses amis, Christian est un exemple à suivre. Pour lui, l'aventure vers l'Hexagone n'est pas un rêve, mais un tremplin pour l'atteinte de ses objectifs.
Si je pars même, c'est peut-être pour aller me perfectionner et revenir.
Comme pour dire que chacun peut se créer son Eldorado, le jeune Christian a su tenir le bout du pinceau de la réussite.
Et puis cap sur la région du Nord-Ouest, une délégation du comité central du RDPC apporte un message de paix et des propositions de plus de 40 emplois pour des jeunes de la région. À la suite de l'honorable Ali Bachir, notre reporter Augustin Guizana, CRTV Nord-Ouest.
La délégation du comité central du RDPC, conduite par le député de la Vina, l'honorable Ali Bachir, a dit être venue s'enquérir de la crise sociopolitique que traverse la région du Nord-Ouest.
Qui aime la population du Nord-Ouest et du Sud-Ouest devrait aimer la paix. Et c'est le message qui passait de partout.
Au cours d'un meeting avec les jeunes au palais des congrès de Bamenda et leur rencontre avec les autorités administratives et traditionnelles de la région du Nord-Ouest, le président national de l'OJRDPC et le chef de mission ont proposé une réponse à l'une des doléances des populations.
Nous sommes venus avec à peu près une quarantaine d'emplois qui tournent autour des pharmaciens, des comptables, des contrôleurs internes, des gestionnaires de stock et même des chauffeurs.
Tout un comité de sélection des jeunes diplômés pour ces emplois est d'ores et déjà mis sur pied.
C'est une tâche à Dieu vraiment, mais c'est pour être honnête. Tous les membres qu'on a sélectionnés, ce sont les membres qui vont tout faire pour faire juste le meilleur.
À travers cet acte concret de la politique nationale du renouveau en matière d'emploi, les jeunes ont promis un retour d'ascenseur à leur président national.
Son Excellence président Paul Biya sera notre candidat aux élections 2018. Qu'il y a les gens qui nous voient, qui reconnaissent les sacrifices que nous faisons pour traiter les malades qui viennent à l'hôpital régional de Bamenda.
Une motion de soutien qui appelle Paul Biya à se porter candidat à la présidentielle théoriquement prévue en 2018 a sanctionné la fin du meeting de Bamenda.
C'est la fin du 8h. Merci de nous avoir suivis. L'info continue sur CRTV News à 12h. Ne manquez pas le grand rendez-vous de la mi-journée, le journal avec Tony Nanyongo et Martine Wendengue. En attendant, je vous laisse en compagnie de Pochita Mbasso pour Hello Cameroon.
Thank you so much, Daniel Menanga. It's definitely with a lot of pleasure that we have you.
Thank you.
You'll be back here tomorrow with Eric Christiania. That'll be totally in French.
Of course.
Aha. But I'll meet you again next week on Tuesday.
See you on Tuesday.
Entre-temps, passe un très bon week-end.
Merci beaucoup à toi aussi.
All right, we're going to send her off on a dancing foot. This is freestyle on Hello Cameroon. We know how to get you moved. Just stay with us. And if you can't shake your body, shake your head. If you can't shake your head, shake your mind. That thing that you watch music and you sit like that, it ended last year. Stay with us. Have fun.
Myself on the beat, yeah. Oh yeah. My sweetie, sweetie, oh my darling. My sweetie, sweetie, oh my darling. I belong to her. She said she belongs to me. I belong to her. She said she belongs to me. Baby, just shake them on. I love the way you whine on. Baby, you're too much, oh. Just like the sun is shine on. Baby, just shake them on. I love the way you whine on. Baby, you're too much, oh. Just like the sun is shine on. Baby, oh baby, come, make it jolly, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, you my sweetie, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, make it jolly, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, you my sweetie, yeah. Man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, fly long away, but you know ain't gone away. Man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, fly long away, but you know ain't gone away. I don't got away, baby. I don't got away, shady. I don't got away, but you know ain't got away. 'Cause you're part of me, and you're nam talo kwa. Baby, I do nam kao kwa. Jole away. Oh my jole ma. Baby, just shake come on. I love the way you whine and whine and baby, you're too much, oh. Just like the sun is shining and shining. Baby, just shake come on. I love the way you whine and whine and baby, you're too much, oh. Just like the sun is shining and shining. Baby, oh baby, come, make me jolly, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, you my sweetie, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, make me jolly, yeah. Baby, oh baby, come, you my sweetie, yeah. Man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, you know, ain't gone away, man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, fly long away, man, you know, ain't gone away. I don't gone away, baby, I don't gone away, yeah, I don't gone away, man, you know, ain't gone away. I don't gone away, baby, I don't gone away, yeah, I don't gone away, man, you know, ain't gone away. Man, long gone baby, 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 man, long gone baby. Man, fly long gone away, man, fly long gone away, man, fly long gone away, man, you know ain't gone away. Man, fly long gone away, man, fly long gone away, man, fly long gone away, man, you know ain't gone away. I don't gone away, baby, I don't gone away, yeah, I don't gone away, man, you know ain't gone away. I don't gone away, baby, I don't gone away, yeah, I don't gone away, man, you know ain't gone away.
After that coffee break, though, let me give you a read of some of the messages that have come in. We're asking you, do men gossip? Tell us about it. Some men have said they don't gossip, they do mature discussions. So do men do mature discussions these days? Tell us about it. Quantin David, writing us from Banjul in the West Region, says, if you really want to see how men gossip, you need to visit a beer parlor. Okay, apparently there it just rolls, it keeps rolling. Traditionally, gossip is associated to women, but men are getting more involved in it. I tell you the truth, Pochi, theirs is sad. Okay, this is from Louis Ngam in Manfe. If you're watching us from Manfe this morning, accept warm and very gentle greetings from the CRTV crew. Hello, Pochi, I'm Wabi from Dumbu. Some men do gossip more than women. Oh, really? Okay, it looks like it's not really in the favor of men this morning. All right, let's continue. Cobain Pamela from Ginicom says, nowadays, men gossip more than women. She says it's very dangerous. Okay, thank you. Pamela, thank you for that contribution. If you're watching us, you're on Hello Cameroon on the CRTV, and we enjoy knowing that we give you anything that can help you to start your day on a good foot. If you're on the left foot, I don't know why you're still on the left foot, though, but it's as simple as this. Just jump and be on the right foot. Start your day on the right foot. I have an artist who's joined me. He's called Kidina Frank. Good morning.
Good morning, Pochi.
How are you?
I'm fine, I'm great.
Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
You're coming from Kribi. You do Afro-pop and ballad. That's what you say?
Yeah, Afro-pop, ballad, and some R&B from time to time.
Okay. Yeah. Before releasing, you just released your first song. Before that, how long have you been in the music issue?
I've been in the music issue since 2007, right up to now, but I really professionally started doing music by 2009, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me about this song, Ojali, that you released.
Ojali is an inspiration from my mother.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we were at the village by that time.
Okay.
And surely she, by the time she was calling my elder brother, and she said, "Gars, je suis au Djali, c'est grave ici." So I took the word. The inspiration was so great that I took the word and had to compose a song and make something
about it.
Yeah, during that time I also had a kind of beat that was going through that kind of sense. So I think it was great and it made a very nice, great song that is played everywhere in Kribi from now.
We want to hear a bit of that song. Do you want to? I know that the video is coming up. We'll talk about it when it comes up. But do you want to do an a cappella for us?
Oh, of course.
Over to you.
All right. Je suis décidé. bébé là je veux plus rester. Si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon gel. Il y a les pygmées, on va boire et on va danser. Oui, si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon gel. Pochi, si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon gel. Ah, si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon jalé. Le codi, si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon jalé. I think that's what the song.
Si tu me fais là, tu quimes dans mon
jalé. As simple as that.
As simple as that, of course.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about your career in music. Is it just a passing issue? Like, you know, you felt like doing this, or it's something you want to settle in?
Definitely it's something I want to do. You know, I'm a student.
Okay.
I'm a student from Boya, and with the time and with all the little issues that were in the town, so after having my PhD, I had to concentrate myself. I told my mom I
slow down. Slow down.
Yeah.
He said something. You said what after having what?
My PhD, my excuse me, my HND.
Your HND,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because I was going to stop and blow you a big trumpet for that. But it's okay. We wish you a PhD though.
I'm definitely gonna have it.
Okay.
That one,
We wish you that.
On the way. Thank you. After having my HND, I told my mom that I have this flame burning in me, and she has been slowing me from doing my music for so long, and I told her I really want to settle down. I want to do music as I feel.
Okay.
She told me, okay, no problem, my son, just go on. And my father too, Mr. Mbombok Batum Dieudonné, who is rightly watching us. He's, I'm sure he's he's one of my main supporter and fan, I can say so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, you're lucky to have your father.
I'm really lucky.
One of your main supporters.
I'm really lucky to have my team too. My pianist, Menge Fernandez, that is always with me, because at the same time I came to Yaoundé to prepare for my midi live show that will be taking place in some days to come.
Yes.
So I think I'm really blessed.
You are blessed, and thank you so much for coming on the program, Kidina Frank.
Thank you so much.
We're still in the first part of 2018. What do you wish? What is the thing you want to see happen, or you want to achieve before 2018 is over?
I think the first thing I've already achieved, I've already seen Pochi. The first thing I've already achieved.
He's a good flasher, right?
I've already seen Pochi. So I think that's the first thing I used to see on TV and see. Oh,
happy to have you.
What an amazing animator! You're just so inspiring, so motherly.
Thank you.
So motherly in your real.
I don't need a Valentine's Day present anymore. I've had the best. Okay.
No, I am that one.
Yeah.
So I can say so, and I wish myself a lot of success, and I think I will work hard for that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll definitely
if you wish it and you work hard, I think you have all what it takes to get there.
Thank you very much.
You might also need energy. Let me give you a banana. Half a banana.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the program. We'll be looking and waiting for your video to pop out. When it shows, we'll grab and then we'll broadcast.
As soon as possible.
Have you ever gone up north though, towards Adamawa?
I've lived in Adamawa, and I did my
you did secondary school in Adamawa?
Yeah, from 3 to opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
There is a love story. You know, we're in the month of love. We talk a lot about it. By the way, on Wednesday next week, what will you be doing?
On Wednesday next week, surely I'll still be in Yaoundé. Yeah.
It's going to be the 14th of February.
Of course.
Will you be among those who will be watching that funny match? There's a funny football encounter going on, or you'll be among those who will be going to shop for Valentine's Day issues?
I'm still to decide, because it's really a great issue. It's really a great issue.
Right, I'll leave you to think about it though. But there is a love story between CRT workers in the north and CRT workers in the Adamawa. Over time, they keep exchanging visits, and this year they did so again. And the person who is telling us the story of this visit is Luisa Akwanka. Stay with us.
The work schedule has been charged, and sometimes overbearing. This excursion to the Adamawa region was understandably looked forward to by workers of the North Regional Station of the CRTV with a great zeal of zest and exhilaration, all of whom were ready for the thrill and buzz the long-awaited trip would generate. Technicians, journalists, drivers, producers, and other members of staff of the regional station congregated at the premises of the radio house, ready for kickoff with their overnight backpacks. Boarding the hired bus of a local transport agency was expeditious. So was takeoff. The journey unfortunately prolongs due to the poor state of the highway. The fatigue weighs in, yet joy explodes when the reunion with the workers of the Adamawa Regional Station of the CRTV on hand to proffer warm, tender hugs and words of welcome at the entrance into the Adamawa Regional Capital, Ngaoundéré, takes place. A get-to-know-each-other session unfolds at the Adamawa Regional Station's radio house. Sweet moments of togetherness are shared. Day 2 dawns. The itinerary of the day is set over a warm and delicious breakfast. First stop, one of Adamawa's wonders of nature. Curiosity got the better of the adventurers, who filed in with brisk steps into the site harboring the phenomenal Tizon Lake. This enthralling body of water you see behind me, nestled within the hills here, is called Lake Tizon, a specificity of the Adamawa region, a real touristic attraction which brings so many people here every day. It is said to have so many properties which attracts people and is said to be kind of mystic, but we hear that it's because of the climatic conditions.
C'est un endroit vraiment magnifique.
It is a magnificent site. I am really excited to discover such a site. I used to hear of the lake. I had the opportunity to see it finally. It was worth the trip. This site permits us to valorize our nation's natural gifts. The curious could ask us where such a site is situated. We will be better placed to respond.
An indelible experience for the tourists. The collective wish was for the site to be rehabilitated so it could finally regain its splendor. For now, solid and undamaged with the passage of time. Another looked forward to stop over is this man-made marvel, the Murdoch Woods. The architectural finesse plowed into the site blew its visitors away with awe and excitement. The recreational grounds, currently undergoing rapid expansion, is projected to rake in more revenue for the development of the city, all the while drawing in more admirers.
It's a very nice place to come and spend your time. If you feel stressed up, you can come here. So if we can have a place like this in Garwa, it will be very, very, very nice.
A tour of the magnificent abode of one of the region's patriarchs, Alhaji Abu, was another highlight of the excursion. An outing qualified as having attained its set objectives.
Un bilan positif.
The balance sheet was impressive when one takes into account the warm welcome our delegation received, the beautiful touristic sites we visited, and I can assure each voyageur is contented. Their expectations were met.
To
the hosts, the personnel of the Adamawa Regional Station of the CRTV, the outing, turning out successful, is an initiative worth rendering habitual.
We pulled out all the stops to render this a sojourn of our colleagues of CRTV North as fun-filled as possible. We ourselves would pursue such initiatives. We are overjoyed to have received our colleagues. The experience was a moving one. Our busy job schedules do not allow for such golden opportunities to know each other. This outing has reinforced our fraternity and helped us all work better. We hope such initiatives are continued.
Takeoff is light-spirited and jaunty. The goodbyes heavy. Workers of CRTV's North Regional Station finally returned to base, reinvigorated, ready for their daily tasks, grateful for such opportunities to stimulate and refresh their intellect, and in this way, their output.
Thank you very much, Luisa. And with that report, we send warm greetings, of course, to our colleagues of the Adamawa and of the North. And while we are at it, why don't we just extend the greetings to our colleagues of the Far North region? Special warm greetings and Happy New Year again to you. Let me quickly read this message before we move to the next thing on the program. It says it's coming from Halima Sadia Ibrahim, who is here in Brick, who says, men are great gossips. If I have to tell you, it would take a whole day to tell you the instances of men caught in the act. When we threw out this topic, we didn't think like this, you know. So if you're thinking that it was planned, it wasn't. We just thought, men are great gossips, okay? Let's go to another discovery. We just finished discovering the Adamawa region through the eyes of our colleagues who went for a visit of colleagues there. Now let's use the eyes of Valentine Guamesia to discover the Mali Falls. It's in Betare Oya in the East region. Stay with us.
This is the town of Betare Oya, famous for its vast gold deposits. Betare Oya is little known as a tourist destination. The Mali Falls is one of the most breathtaking sights God has bestowed on Cameroon. And of course, this fall is located in the center of the gold fields of Betare Oya. To get here, one has to pass through gold mines of various categories, from the highly mechanized to the time-old pan miners' field.
Ça, ça me donne une valeur d'argent comme vous voyez. Ça, c'est combien comme ça? Ça, là, il peut dire que ça, c'est 30 bichettes. Bon, 30 bichettes ici, là, c'est 2000 francs la bichette, non? Donc, 30, ça fait 60 000 ici.
There is water everywhere. And as a reminder, we are here at the heart of the dry season. Here, we see the rising waters of the River Lom, a direct result of the construction of the Lompanga Dam. We are about to take a long trek to those hills to visit the biggest attraction yet of Betare Oya that is little known to the rest of the world. The climb to the Mali Falls is a difficult one, as we use machetes to clear a path through the thick forest. All along the way, one passes old abandoned mines dug by the Germans, Cameroon's first colonial occupier. The waters of the Lom are a blessing indeed to the gold mining activity, as it is a big necessity in the extraction and purification of the metal. The Mali Falls
It is dangerous. That's the least one can say about this area. It is slippery. It is treacherous. This area is covered with gold dust. As we've seen throughout the trip, there's gold in practically every inch of Betare Oya. And definitely, within these granite stones, I bet there is gold inside here. Cameroon, this definitely should be one of the marvelous wonders of Cameroon. And it should be a tourist haven, and I believe it is. Because we are told that beneath these rolling waters, there is a cave. I was made to understand that tourists who are brave enough find time to go beneath these waters and have some peace and quiet under these waters. But by the look of it, it is treacherous indeed. And I bet you, just from the sheer force of this fall, you can imagine how this can be transformed to produce electricity in the future. And this zone branch, we have made to understand that there are many falls like this in this region. And come to think of the fact that there is gold here, and there is this fall. In fact, Cameroon is blessed, and the region of Betare Oya is blessed indeed. But it is really spectacular. I am Gwan Mr. Valentine in the Mali Falls, here for CRTV.
Thank you so much, Valentine Gomesia, caught in the emotions of the Mali Falls and all the beauty of the environment. We were also caught in that emotion with you, and thank you for sharing that moment with the CRTV. In a short while, in our drama page, we'll go meet a parliamentarian who is having a little bit of an issue. But before we go meet that parliamentarian, though, it's probably the time of the day when some of you step out to go to work or to go earn money, you know. Go work some money so you can use it to buy yourself what you need for life. If you're thinking of stepping out, I'm about to give you how your outside is or could be looking like wherever you are in the country. Just stay with us. I just want to also say that if you're stepping out, you probably lose TV, lose signal or lose our signal. Don't worry, just tune to our sister signal on the national station of the CRTV. You can get us on 88.8. That's the frequency modulation number that you need to tune to. And you'll listen to people like Pochi and the whole Hello crew trying to give you a better start of your day. Now, if you're watching us from Lolodorf, that's probably around where the artist we just heard is coming from, Kijina Frank. If you are in Lolodorf in the south, you should have a 30% chance that it rains today. It's one of the localities or the parts of the country where rain is expected. You have a 30% chance that it rain, and your temperature will vary between 32 degrees and 23 in the course of the day. It's a partly cloudy day with possible thunderstorms in the course of the day. If you are in Banga, Banga is in the littoral region, accept warm greetings from us. If you're a transporter in Banga, we say hello. We know there are a lot of persons who do transport between Banga, Loom, Penja. If you are one of those, accept warm greetings from us. It's a partly cloudy day for you in Banga, and your temperature when it's highest will be 38 degrees Celsius, and when it's lowest, that should be in the evening, it will be 24 degrees Celsius. If you're in Sanchu, Sanchu is also a locality that is crossed by travelers on a daily basis. It's in the west region. It should expect a partly cloudy day for you too, and when your temperature is highest, it will be 35 degrees Celsius, and when it's lowest, it will be 20 degrees Celsius. If you are in the Bonda 2, the Bonda 2 is in the southwest region. If I had some time, I'll play with you so you guess where that is. But don't worry, we don't have much time for that this morning. But in the course of our search, that is the locality with the highest chance of rain today. It is 80%. You have the 80% chance that it rains in the Bonda 2 today. And you should have thunderstorms developing in the course of the day towards the afternoon period. When your temperature is highest, it will be 32 degrees Celsius. When it's lowest, that is in the evening, it will be 20 degrees Celsius. If you are in Core, good morning to you and thank you for watching the CRTV. If you're in Core, you should expect a generally clear day. Your temperature at the highest will be 34 degrees Celsius. That's going to be pretty hot, and in the evening it will be pretty cold too, 17 degrees Celsius. If you are in Tui, Tui is here in the center region. It's morning clouds followed by afternoon sunshine for you, and your temperature at the highest will be 36 degrees Celsius and 23 degrees Celsius for the evening period. If you are in Galim, Galim is in the Adamawa. It's a partly cloudy day, and your temperature will vary between 36 degrees Celsius and 19. If you are in Gong, Gong is in the north. We are gradually going up north. You should expect your temperature to reach 40 degrees Celsius today, and when it drops in the evening, it will reach 21 degrees Celsius. It's a partly cloudy day. It's a generally clear sky for you if you're in Mulvudai. Mulvudai is in the far north region. You should expect your temperature to be among the highest in the country. 42 degrees Celsius is what you should expect when it's highest, and 22 degrees Celsius is what you expect when it gets really cold. That will be in the night. And if you're in Betare Oya, Betare Oya is in the east region. We had some pictures from Betare Oya just a while ago from Valentine Guamesia. If you're in that part of the country, continue to receive our warm greetings on the CRTV. It's a partly cloudy day for you, and your temperature when it's highest will be 39 degrees Celsius. When it's lowest, and that will be at night, it will be 20 degrees Celsius. Okay, well, let's go meet this parliamentarian who is having a little bit of an issue. It's Alena Menget, probably at his best, but I don't know, he's always at his best.
Kind of beautiful. Who could be calling me at this time of the night? Hello, Akowe. Well, woman, I do miss a mayo. No more to come no the Amara and Mozobi mother that were looking at it before the telephone to the ring. No more which they show me for television. Okay, from the recent parliamentary session. Well, people were just waiting for me as I climbed to the rostrum like this, like as I was moving. Very table. That how they were crapping and crapping and crapping. Then I went to microphone. J'ai dit que je suis ici parce que les gens de mon village m'ont voté. Je ne suis pas ici parce qu'on m'a nommé. No, but that thing when turn up here because the president of the republic will tell you that you should take this kind of position or whatever you choose. The other one, like come on parallel to Zuka people of Sudan, so just put there. I am there because the people of my village have voted me. Now the different that one, but you can respect the bird. No, Mr. Mayor, when I'm talking to you like this, you take it very serious. Je ne parle pas les choses comme ça because if we savez the country we are passed through, Mbongo you go to parliament. Before people just come down, they're talking anything. They know the thing we will spend. No problem. You like the quote, eh? But no, that could what take go in that case for Bafasan. But you come to that day and you was going to talk on the rostrum. I come out with that blue black coat with black shit inside. You green regular shine chair from left to right, green regular pass with parliamentarian that thing, star in the middle, pim. Je suis ici parce que c'est les gens de mon village m'ont voté. Je ne suis pas ici parce qu'on m'a nommé. Ce n'est pas nomination. Nomination, I'm going for tough for you. Moi, comme nous, moi, on a eu cavalier, il y a des débris, turn up the other side of the room and first speak of assembly. Even me speak of assembly by merit. No, it's a problem. When on your they talk to for TV, parametric ground off, but yeah, they gave 29 million each. No problem. That is why, you know, you have to look for some of these our Mugamo boys who are just left, but you carry on some of these ones with surveyors. Surveyor, where the field look, you see that road from Kurua to Kurunyen, that Benin corner, so where water did to true gratrites Mongo. You see that bend to where pass go out from a village, then where pass or go ambo to you two gratrites Mongo. Good. No, that one no problem. Then for the other side to again, we throw more gratrites today. When people vote for power, and you don't know power more. As you enter parliament, you are there because you have to represent the people. Because if you chop people the money, that's exactly how one time go reach. On va commencer de t'appeler que tu voulais. Even when I for down for mayoral position, when I for mayor, il ne touche pas l'argent du peuple. Because one time most of people you have a jerk, then the next minute people will be disrespecting you. When they respect you, you return up for road, but they look so. See, come and say the theory, that's all for you. Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Then other thing I want to ask you. When the teacher went with the vote man so put them for year for hotel and deputy, I dare here for year one day, so all the day hotel. What's are those small girls who will be used for campaign? Other parliamentarians get here every night, burning them the enter for the banter on the go to do him massage. Chamber for who's angry for a day. We need one not so to work very hard. We need massage for night. Yes, hotel the deputy room 104. Tell him that the parliamentarian want to see him. All right. But when media are coming to the village about you away, then but you can know more very important. Then when by the time we're taking new decisions, I will know what to tell you. And tu sais que quand on commence de parler les choses comme ça au téléphone, c'est pas très bon. So when I'm coming to the village, you want to face to face. As we are talking and looking more to more, we'll realize that things are good. As long as but you go to I greet everybody, sir, everybody, yeah. Mr. Mayor, they just joke with me. Cut.
The Baribo parliamentarian, they are crapping for him somewhere right now, you know, crap like that. Alene, thank you so much for that beautiful moment. I just want to say, if you love that, you should check out Alene Menget. He's got another one on the dolls. You know those Chinese dolls that people are talking about? I dare not put it out for you, but please go and watch it and carry on the discussion with social issues and topical issues around town. Cameroon has got talents. If you didn't know, stay with Hello Cameroon. That's our job, to show you. We'll open the window like we just opened now, and then we'll push you through. Whatever you do after, It's up to you. Let's catch our sports page. I saw it flying and then we just grabbed it. So stay with us. Benin Bumagana, good morning.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
It's quite nice to be here.
When I see your pinafore, it's like my day is fine.
You know, the first thing I have to get up when I'm coming for Halo is to be sure that
you have it right.
That they're right where I kept them.
No. That's a good reflex because you'll be in trouble with us.
If you can't without it.
Tell me about sports.
Well, it has been, I need to apologize first of all to those who are watching and they've not seen sports for quite a while because, permit me say this before I continue, I met some very big person that you would not even expect or imagine to say that, and the person said, I enjoy you people, especially in the morning. I watch Hello and I watch where you come on and the whole sports thing and, you know, talked about the program much.
Yes.
I appreciated a lot about what you are doing. Asked, can I get in contact with Pochi? And I said, I cannot give you Pochi's number except I asked for Pochi's permission.
And you choose to ask my permission on TV?
I know, I've not asked you the permission yet. I'm just telling you the story. So, well, I'm just trying to say that whatever you do here, it's a lot of persons are watching.
Okay.
And you will not know what it means to, you know, minimize, you know, something. One of that's when you get to know that you really touch so many persons. Well, let's talk sports now. As far as sports is concerned, just over the week, the president of the Olympic and Sports Committee, Karkaba Malboum, signed an agreement with 16 sports federations. These sports federations are sports federations that have representation in the, or that take part in the Olympic Games. So they signed, we'll get the pictures, go on. So they signed 16 different agreements. You have signed an agreement with the Athletics Federation, with the Boxing Federation, with the Nambudo. The whole idea of this agreement is such that the federations will have their part to bring in, and the National Olympic and Sports Committee will have its own part to bring in to better train athletes. The first challenge has to do with the National Games of Cameroon, Dixiat, coming in December. You know, the problem we have in Cameroon now is to identify budding athletes, young athletes, to train them.
Promising talents.
So the federation, they have a role to play. The National Olympic and Sports Committee, they have a role to play. The Ministry of Sports have a role to play. But this agreement was signed between the National Olympic and Sports Committee and the federations, for one. So they're already going to work on that. And this December, during the National Games of Cameroon that will take place in Bafoussam, we're going to see a lot of this coming in. There you have the presidents and the other persons explaining what is going to be in this convention. Next, there is the League One, the the football season in Cameroon takes off on Sunday. And CRTV is going to be very, very much involved to bring to you the matches. The matches start on Sunday. There's been a little buying and selling of players. And this time, when the league takes off, it's going to take off in a very, very, very great standing. Of course, the Shan was not a very good story for most persons, but God remains Cameroon, and that you cannot change for me. God remains Cameroon, and the Chan was not very good. The Auxiliary Lions did not perform the way we wanted them to perform. We only heard one of these days, I hope you'll be able to talk to Simon Lyongala Molombe, who was a team press officer who was right amongst them to explain to you some of the difficulties they really had. Now, with the kind of problems they had, they could not perform on the turf. That is what happened as far as that is concerned. So, what are we looking up to this weekend? We're looking up to the start of the championship that will be in Limbe, and of course, Eding will be playing the opening game. Eding is going to represent Cameroon out of Africa for the African Champions League. So, this weekend is going to be intense, but also at the level of the federation, there's a lot of work going on to develop talents, to develop athletes, and to work with the National Olympic and Sports Committee to be able to get all of these talents in place and to be able to train these young talents coming up.
Definitely. So it's a busy season coming.
I summarize 5 chapters.
That's why I'm still trying to get them all in one place, but that's what we do, right? We hope you caught it, and that Benin will be back here on Thursday next week. Yep. That's how sports will be. Every Thursday, we'll have Benin Bumagana. Meantime, in between Thursdays, you can catch him on CRTV News. You can catch him on CRTV Premium, as this is called. In fact, he's busy. He's round the clock. Thank you so much for coming, Benin.
Thank you, Pochi.
I'm sure you got out of your home so early that you didn't have breakfast, right?
How did you know, Mommy?
I know. Am I not the one who makes your breakfast in the morning and who knows that this morning you didn't eat that breakfast?
Thank you very much.
Okay. What will you be doing on Wednesday next week?
Wednesday next week.
Before you answer, Wednesday next week is a certain 14th of February.
Okay. You know that the 14th of February, you're never the one who has the program of the day.
You're a good boy, which means that you will not be watching one funny football encounter, right? No, not at all.
You want to have problems, but how can you even say that?
Boy.
So you just stay and they tell you that this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, and you just drive along. You be the driver of that day, you buy them chocolate, you buy them flowers, and continue.
Okay. He's a good guy. So we need to have many good guys like that who will not tell us about that funny football match that's on that day.
Come to think of it, it's going to be Ash Wednesday. So
no, but don't worry, that was settled. That was settled.
We're torn between holiness and romance. And that's
come on.
Paris Saint-Germain is playing.
Let me give you the answer. We settled that a long time ago. We said the service, the service at 6:30. So do the service at 6:30 and then start your fasting at 6:30. Okay. That gives you time to drive around with Madam. Thank you so much, Benem. You know, we solve your problems on television. We've given you the solution, so don't worry. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you very much.
Ruth NJ, how are you?
I'm good.
Actually, you're already announcing the colors of Wednesday next week, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Tell me, what do you want us to watch on the CRTV?
Okay, I want us to start our 10:35 on the CRTV. That's CRTV Premium for you. You'll be watching Food for Life, and this time we're looking at Njama Njama. Yes, people of the Northwest will feel me. Njama Njama, you know, huckleberry.
It's also called Zom here.
Zom, yes. And they use it, is it inside Sanga?
Yes, I think.
Yes,
I'm guessing.
To prepare Sanga, you need to know it has a lot of nutrients. You need to discover this vegetable. It comes up at 10:35 on the CRTV Food for Life. In case you don't have it in your garden, it is time to start thinking about it, but not yet this period because it's so hot and your seeds are going to die down. But during the rainy season, it sprouts up so good. 10:35 on the CRTV Food for Life. Njama Njama. And then at 12:30, yes, it is Midila. I was so sorry that today we won't be having a new episode because Myra fell sick. But yesterday we were talking about an indigenous youth, and it is the season or the period for youths because 11th of February, it's on Sunday. I know your trousers and your gowns are ready, well pressed. But today we'll be having someone of the music called, well, it is Andre Mangar. And yes, Cameroon's entertainment industry, it's a budding one. And we have so many young upcoming artists in the world and in Cameroon, particularly. Cameroon's got talent. So Andre Manga will be yours. Just watch and get inspired. Maybe you want to become him. And then at 3:30, still on the youth, it is Une Opportunité pour la Jeunesse, and that is MINJES, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Civic Education, is outlining the opportunities for the youth. In case you're in Yaoundé and you want to have a swell time, just go to the National Museum and then you discover what the youths are putting up out there. They have a lot of tents, they have a lot of materials, both in the fashion, in the RT, in every bit of thing you can find in Cameroon. It is at the National Museum. A youth fair is going on there at 5:30 on the CRTV. One thing we have to be proud in Cameroon is that we are emerging. And what better way to emerge? Because in 2035, we'll become a very, very big country, and we need electricity. We need energy to achieve all that. The Menvele hydroelectric power plant is something Cameroonians are proud of. It has a capacity of 200 megawatts, and it is a reservoir that carries 19 million meters cube of water. Can you beat that? And then the dam type is Edfield Dam with 20 meters high of the dam. So you can imagine Cameroon is emerging. So aménagement hydroélectrique de Menvele in Levier achevé comes up at 5:30 on the CRTV. Those are just one of what we are emerging with this time around. And then at 7 p.m. on the CRTV, you'll be having the major road construction projects in the center and south region of Cameroon. I told you earlier on, where road passes, development follows, and that's what Cameroon is trying to bring forth to you. We're trying to develop every aspect of the society, our tourism sector, our economic sector, meanwhile our entertainment industry too, of course. And then 8 p.m. Littoral Sud-Ouest, ces routes qui nous rassemblent. Yes, we have the Mongo. Immediately you pass the Mongo River, you know you're in the southwest. And then when you come this way, you know know, you're in the littoral region of Cameroon. C'est route qui nous rassemble, pardon. It comes up at 8 p.m. on the CRTV, and then we'll be ending at 10:20 on the CRTV. Que dit la loi? Yes, it is on the CRTV. Que dit la loi? What does the law say? And we are looking at l'acte de naissance et les droits attachés. L'acte de naissance et les droits attachés comes up at 10:20 on the CRTV. Que dit la loi? Bird, meanwhile, on the CRTV news comes up at every top of the hour, and then you have news flash at every half hour. Do not miss that. It is CRTV Premium and CRTV News. You have Twilight every 6 p.m. Mondays through Fridays with fresh news, and it is a summary of the day. And then Thursday, Thematic 2 is back. Friday, rather. Thematic is back, and it comes up at 3 p.m. on the CRTV. Meanwhile, we are at the heart of the nation.
We remain at the heart of the nation. Ruth Inje, quick question in 2 seconds. Do men gossip?
Are you asking me that? They do. And one thing I love about how men gossip, because you wonder why the stay in the bar and sit from 6 to 12, the gossip in the mature way, like they're having a serious...
It's the word going around, the gossip in a mature way. They don't gossip, they mature talk.
We kind of like...
It's the end of the show here. Bye-bye. See you on Tuesday next week. Meantime, beautiful weekend. Eric Christian will wake you up tomorrow at 6:30 with Bonjour, le Cameroun. Bye-bye.